What's good? What's good, family? Y'all know how we do. Always pushing help, wealth, better understanding self. We got Trump to expand the immigration crackdown. We're gonna open up the lines later for that. We're gonna see what everybody feel. See what everybody feel, what everybody think about Trump and his immigration crackdown. But then we got some FBA speaking on it as well. Y'all know how we do on the Sunday. We're a little late today, but we're gonna let it go and we're gonna wait for everybody to tap in. Make sure y'all hit that like button on the way in.
To better their lives. At least that's the story we were told. But now that the political climate has shifted and background checks are actually being enforced, a very different picture is coming to focus. Temporary protected status, TPS, is ending for multiple groups, and with it, the loopholes, the unchecked access, and the abuse of programs are finally being exposed. And let me say this clearly from the start. This conversation is not about hatred. It's about accountability, which none of these people clearly have. They just like to gaslight us. Something Black Americans have always been forced to live under.
Make sure y'all hit that like button, man.
It ain't no secret that it's not Americans that's the top dogs when it comes to scamming. Americans seem to be the top dogs when it comes to getting scammed. Whether we're talking about somebody sending money to fucking quote unquote Nigerian prince from a fucking email, or all the Eastern European gangs and gypsies and shit like that do all different kinds of fraud online, the dark web, all that type of shit. Now we're starting to see how much is actually done that actually hits the taxpayers, hits all of us. And this shit, they're getting more and more shit gets uncovered every fucking day now. This administration is digging. They're not big on immigration. So if you hear, they find out you here illegally and you're doing some shit, they're going all in. That's where the Somalian shit goes in. You see the Minnesota, this shit's being robbed blind, almost complicitly, being, with fucking Governor Walz and fucking Omar out there. Like, everybody seems to be on board with this shit. And Maine as well. I mean, this shit ain't new. Like, this Maine story right here, this shit's 2012. And it basically breaks down what exactly still happens today. I've seen videos on TikTok actually mentioning this shit, how they scam the healthcare system there, how they will, in this case, going back, it's 2012, it's over 13 years ago. The dude's an illegal, said he's coming from a refugee camp, somehow gets a social security number, parlays that into being able to get Maine care as their Medicaid. He gets to that, and then somehow flips that into actually having a healthcare business where he's now billing the fucking state over $1 million a year before, he ends up getting, for bullshit non-medical stuff that he's doing, basically nothing.
I'm gonna go into that Trump. Trump just said he gonna expand. Make sure y'all smash that like button. He gonna expand the deportation. And it's been a brother that he wasn't from this country, but it was somebody that passed, and that's been causing a lot of commotion with immigration. So, but the left always gonna find something about it that they can run with.
It's got patience. They're all being overcharged by Maine Care, ridiculous amount of money.
U.S. prosecutors allege that Abu Trika led an $8 million romance scam targeting mainly elderly Americans. He and his alleged criminal network used AI-generated fake identities to form emotional relationships, build trust, and convince victims to send money for fabricated emergencies, investments, or personal crises. The scam reportedly ran from 2023 until his arrest. On December 11th, 2025, a coordinated operation by the FBI and Ghana's Economic and Organized Crime Office, EOCO, led to his capture. He now faces extradition to the United States, where he could face charges including conspiracy to commit wire fraud, money laundering, and other offenses.
Now, I'm going to get into that case where y'all going to see it was I forget the country. Let me bring it up. But somebody passed in immigration at ICE. It was a Spanish dude that passed. So a lot of people are saying that they're gonna be able to stop immigration, but it's a lot of scams that's going on with immigration. But check this out. this is what Trump doing now. If it costs 170 billion, it costs 170 billion. That's what I seen. That was really, I'm like, dang, it costs 170 billion to get them out of here. But check this out. Trump set to expand his immigration crackdown in 2026. Well, this is the thing. It says Trump plans to increase workplace raid despite political risk. Now, the ICE and Border Patrol to receive 170 billion funding boost. That's expensive. That's expensive to keep them out of the country. 170 bills. So we're gonna open this up on the chat. I want to know what how y'all feel about this, but yeah, he is gonna pump up the immigration despite the Democratic Party, they pushing to stay on his heels. They need some serious detectives being proactive regarding fraud. Yeah, because it's serious. The fraud is crazy. It's people that's calling our phones that's from so many other countries. Shout out Angela for always holding it down. But that's what I want to show y'all, the 170. But check this out. This is what happened in Somalia, right? I'll show y'all this story. This is what this happened in Somalia, where they recording, and they getting Tim Waltz in trouble because everybody is saying that they got something to do with that. Check this out. Salute, family in the building. Kazaria, salute. I appreciate you. Check this out.
Fuck ICE! Fuck ICE! Fuck Donald Trump! Don't show them anything!
Get the fuck out of here. More whistles. You need to leave. You're not welcome. Get the fuck out of here. I thought everyone was welcome. I thought everyone was welcome. You was ICE? I thought everyone. This is us! We are citizens! We are here! Why are you here? Where are you from? Where are you from?
So y'all see, like, it's a big clash with them in the Minnesota. Shout out to you, Water God. Blessing to you always. Salute, Angela. I appreciate that. Salute. I want to know what y'all think about this immigration. The immigration news lately. I know FBA standing on the immigration business.
That's what happens when you let the third world in. Spitting at officers, blocking traffic.
Hey, shoot man! Nigga, I'm illegal, nigga! Bitch ass nigga!
Shit, I just get them out of here. Make America great again. I'm John Fitzgerald, and I am a MAGA. Make America great again. Get them the hell out of here. Get them the hell out of here.
You hear the way these guys are talking to him.
Yeah, no, I want them gone. I want them out of here. They are the most unfriendly. We live right across the street from them. And there's been times where this whole cul-de-sac has been completely lined with Mercedes, BMWs.
This is how they talk. Second generation.
Come here! Hey! I'm right here though!
Unbelievable. This is the problem. You got the third generation here. You invited them in, invite the illegals in, and then they have kids that hate this country, are taught to hate this country. And then you got neighbors living right across the street that have to deal with it.
There might be repercussions for me because, but 15, 20, 25 know where I live. I ain't afraid.
Yeah.
Not backing down.
If you could say something to President Trump, to Tom Holland, what would you tell him?
President Trump, start with Ilhan Omar, get her out of here and drag all of this business here, get them out of here. Yeah, we're Americans. Yeah.
So I noticed you've got a for sale sign out here. How much of that decision has to do with the illegals and the Somalis that are here in the neighborhood?
Oh, a lot. It's a major part of our reason why we want to get out of here. I'm wondering, it's been a little over a year now that we've been on the market. Can't sell, hasn't sold. I have to ask, why not? This is a beautiful neighborhood, except for that.
With your tax dollars.
Yeah, my tax dollars and your tax dollars, and anybody who's listening to this and who sees this, it's your money too. And it just, there it is.
What do you think of your governor and your mayor?
Oh, it's another reason why we're leaving. We just get us out of here. I mean, I hate to feel like I'm the one that needs to leave, but that's how I feel. I'm the one that needs to leave. Jeez.
Yeah, sad.
Very sad. Very sad. Trump.
Y'all hear what I'm saying? I feel bad that I have to leave. Man, we want everybody. Look, we need everybody gone, man. We need to clear out.
Ilhan Omar, get her out of here. Chief O'Hara, our police will not assist ICE. What the hell is this?
Salute to the
what's going on? And those 6 people in Congress don't obey illegal orders from the president. Jesus. I mean, you want insurrection? I feel like it's starting in my neighborhood right across from my house. I'm standing out here in shorts and a short shirt, and man, I tell you what, I'm hot. I'm just,
It's like 1 degree outside and you're out here.
I'm hot. Yeah, I am just hot.
Last thing, what do you say to ICE?
Oh, ICE, God bless you guys. And Christy Nome, God love you. Stick with it. Be tough.
Thank you, sir.
So y'all here in Minnesota, this big problem. No more immigrants in our government. That's what I'm saying. How they let the lady get all the way to the top? Waltz, though. I believe it was waltz. It was all waltz. But yeah, we gonna no more immigrants in our government. You know, they just elected the dude in New York, so it looked like what they pushing for some reason. It looked like they pushing this immigration. But I want y'all to check this out. I'm gonna find that story about the guy who it was a black man who got killed in ICE. So it looks like the Democrat Party is running with this. I'm gonna find that out for y'all. I'm gonna get that clip, but first I'm gonna show y'all this fraud here. But I'm gonna pull that up so y'all can see what I'm talking about. This may be they may push this like they push anytime a black person get killed, but I'm gonna show y'all this. Let's get it.
The defendants are charged with 1 count of food stamp fraud. As alleged in the charging documents, these men abused one of the government's most critical safety net programs for their own financial gain. This is taxpayer money meant to keep people from going hungry. These defendants decided to take it for themselves. These defendants exchanged SNAP benefits for cash, which they pocketed. Bonner, a naturalized U.S. citizen from Haiti, owned the Jesuela Variety Store. Elise May, a lawful permanent resident also from Haiti, owned the Saul Mache Mixe store. These 2 businesses were co-located within a single storefront in Boston. To be certain, these were not supermarkets. They were not full-service groceries, It would be a huge stretch to even call them convenience stores. In fact, the only thing convenient about these stores was how easy it was to commit SNAP benefit fraud. To put this in perspective, the Jesuela Variety Store is less than 150 square feet in size, smaller than some bathrooms. The Saul Mache Mixe store was approximately 500 square feet in space. By contrast, a supermarket can be 20,000 to 60,000 square feet in size, have a dozen or more registers, and employ numerous employees. Both the Jesuela Variety and Saul Mache Mixe stores had one register, no carriages, no hand baskets, and very little food for sale. One legitimate supermarket in the same area as these stores redeems approximately $80,000 in SNAP benefits per month. Over the last 20 months, the Jesuela Variety Store was redeeming between 3 and 6 times that amount monthly, with nowhere near the space, inventory, customers, or infrastructure to support it. The Sao Mache Mixe store redeemed over $120,000 in SNAP benefits in the last 6 months. Simply put, there is no plausible way SNAP eligible food could have been purchased from these stores for this long. Yet, these two stores are alleged to have illicitly trafficked nearly $7 million in SNAP benefits.
Dang, 7 million? Yeah. Charmaine Callahan said, whatever happened to get in and get out before you get caught? It's people that's just trying to milk the game. Like, they just gonna milk it until they get caught. But, I mean, 7 million? That's crazy, bro. That seemed like the new hustle to come here. We ain't even thinking that. Come here, get eligibility, and then take advantage of the resources. That wasn't even trying to disguise the scam. One loaf of bread on the shelf. Right, they ain't even got the right food in there, man.
The fraud was shocking.
Hi, my name is Tami, and I would like to give you a few reasons why you should consider dating a young Asian lady.
And glaring.
These Haitians, this scam snap out of $7 million. And it wasn't only them, it was a community of Haitians. These two Haitians owned 2 stores that was side by side. They weren't no more than 120 square feet. So all these SNAP redemption transactions sent red alerts to the databases. So SNAP sent USDA sent one of their agents to study this store, and they compared this store to several other supermarkets in the area. So that store was only 120 square feet. They compared it to stores that was anywhere from 20,000 square feet to 60,000 square feet, and they monitor the SNAP redemption transactions. So out of all these 7 supermarkets, their daily transactions was like $44. They 10% of their transactions were maybe $90 and up. But when it comes to these 2 Haitian stores, which is only 120 square feet, their transactions, their SNAP redemption transactions were averaged to $200 plus. And they had people coming from out of state to Mattapan, Massachusetts, coming from Florida, coming from New York, doing like 2,000, 3,000 SNAP transactions. So basically they were buying SNAP benefits from the SNAP recipients and redeeming them as cash with the government. Now they caught up. This is going to, I'm telling y'all, SNAP benefits is about to become more strict. They're going to become stricter on releasing SNAP benefits to people because there's too many scams like this going on. There's too many scams, and it's all going to fall back on the American people that really need it.
TPS was supposed to be something temporary, not permanent residency.
So y'all see how Corey put, man, they'll come over here talking about they're from the Caribbean and they don't do that where they're from. Yeah, it's a lot of fraud. I mean, everybody hitting the system, you know. It's just everybody hitting the system, I feel like. I ain't gonna say everybody, but all of the, like the Mexico, everybody come over here, and that's what it's like. That's the hustle. Is get over here and get the resources, but to be billing the government like that, that's bold and not care like that. It shows that it's probably gonna be a lot of people getting locked
by default. Not a backdoor into benefits, jobs, and political power. But what we've seen instead is an entire system being gamed across different communities, Somali, African, Somalis are African, so you know, Haitians, Hispanics, though they deny it. We're now seeing case after case of fraud, identity manipulation, fake documentation, program abuse, employment loopholes, benefits stacking. Not everyone, but enough that it can no longer be ignored.
So what y'all think? This is the Dems? You think this is all Democratic Party that they got this going on, or do you think? I heard y'all in the chat saying no more Dems, no more Dems. These folks have all types of scams, and I'm on Social Security. I just gotta notice they're cutting my SNAP benefit. That's crazy. They're cutting your SNAP benefits. Frauding 7 million, somebody not doing their job. Of course, they definitely not doing their job. And this is a lady. She looked like she from the land. But check this out. Let me let this finish.
And now that stricter background checks are happening, suddenly people are panicking because once paperwork gets checked,
you can't make this stuff up. Fraud money used to finance the home, to buy the home, and then they don't even pay the taxes on it. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. But again, it's because they're hard work, right? This is what they say. This is why they're so successful.
No one responded to the note I left, but a week later, we did see someone leaving in a Cadillac. Prosecutors say they have to wait for.
I'm sure this was hard work too, right? This nice little Cadillac. I'm sure that was hard work.
I'm with you. You like, nah, you can't. We can't support our tax dollars. Got to make sure we supporting the people here that need food. That's crazy. Deport the Maya. We put Los Angeles has turned into a sardine can of traffic. It's like a Panita exploded over here. ICE, please take a presence in Los Angeles. We got mouths to feed. It's crazy, man.
Too, right? And that wasn't fraud money. That wasn't scamming. Wasn't scheming. No. Just hard work. I don't know what they're waiting on, right? I don't know what the government's waiting on here, right? Okay. It seems like they got property that is of a high value that needs to be seized, right? And we need to get our money back. Because I mean, they took the money and they've been convicted. So we need to get it back, right? We need to do something about this, right?
It's not a lot of countries you can go in and even buy land, like taxes. We got to put out our tax, man. There got to be an FBA tax on, what's up, Solani Tania. I appreciate you for tapping in. Special OG in the building. You put they aren't deporting them fast enough. You ask me. I'm with you, bro. It's a lot of them they out. And we need them. We need them back over there. Because they still getting these benefits and running up these tax dollars.
This don't seem right.
Prosecutors say they have to wait for Salim Saeed to be sentenced before they can take the property. But that doesn't explain this one. Records show the owner of this house in Willerny is Jonathan Ross, the husband of Sharon Ross.
We want to keep that program going.
The former director of House of Refuge Twin Cities was sentenced sentenced to prison in February for her role in the Feeding Our Future fraud. That should have cleared the way for the government to take the property. But we found a car registered to Ross's husband still sitting in the driveway. We are also asking about this house in Burnsville, owned by former Feeding Our Future employee Abdikerm Idle. Do you know Mr. Idle? Right before being named in the first indictments in 2022, Amy Bach's right-hand man fled the country. Do you know where he is? That's the voice of Idle's ex-wife, according to a second person who spoke to me from behind the front door.
Ex-husband. Yeah, I'm with it though. Cut all the benefits, period. From you can't be, that should be a requirement. Like how the heck, that should be a policy change right there where they shouldn't be able to get access to no SNAP. Yeah, y'all, we
Y'all, these Somalians in Minnesota is out of pocket. Just because American manager let ICE in, he threatened to unalive the manager. Check this out.
We live here. Why should let them in? Okay, that's going to be the biggest demonstration ever against Sherman Associates. I will tell you. Sherman Associates are doing this to us after 10 years of living here.
These are just family, man.
Sherman Associates, I live here 27 years, and they're letting ICE in to arrest us as Americans. We are Americans. Look at this. We are Muslim. Is that the problem? Yeah. After 30 years of taking our money, we are Muslim. Oh, good.
It's really ridiculous. You throw out all these victim cards. Oh, I'm Somalian. Oh, I'm a Muslim, just to turn around and try to intimidate somebody talking about you're going to unalive them. Trust and believe. After ICE would have did their thing in that building, the Bacon Boys would have been up next. Yeah, the Bacon Boys would have came through that building and you would have got up out of there. You wouldn't have to go to Somalia, but you would have had to get the hell up out of my apartment complex. Because what you mean, you a tenant and I'm the manager. Yeah, what you mean? You a tenant talking to the manager like that. Excuse me, sir, this is where we part ways. This is where the eviction notice come out. And you know, it's cold out there. It's cold out there in the streets right now. I don't think y'all could survive the cold from the climate y'all come from. Like the entitlement is unbelievable. The entitlement is unbelievable. And you can't pressure people into believing the same thing you believe in. No one's obligated to put their career on the line. No one's obligated to jeopardize their bag for something you believe in, right? And if you're American, what's your problem with ICE anyway? Because you could call ICE on me right now. Guess where they're going to put me at? Back in America. We're going to do a 360-degree together.
What is Troy Body talking about? If you want reparations, then ask Trump. He has all three branches. You really want to start a war with torn black people? What? Bro, what does that have to do with? Man, we may have to look, bro. We may have to cook you on the live, man. We may have to cook you, bro. Let me let him play. Somebody just ask Trump for reparations. We've been on reparations.
But what you hiding?
Now let's address what never gets.
I'm gonna go over a reparations meeting that we just had. Because obviously you don't even know what you're talking about. Reparations is going on right now. What you mean? Ask them, bro. We got policy, we got structure going on there where we got hearings and stuff for reparations. What is you talking about? Ask him. This man here talking about just if you want reparation, just ask Trump. Man, we got a whole structured. Where's the check? What you mean, where's the check? That's what we working on. What are you talking about? Dude, you ain't making no sense. You telling us to ask them, and we got real hearings around here doing real work, trying to get us our reparations.
Talked about While all of this
said
was
no
happening, Black Americans were being locked out of jobs, locked out of contracts, locked out of housing, locked out of grants. Meanwhile, many immigrants.
What you mean Trump said no to reparations? Now you putting words in the man's mouth, bro. Reparations is nobody's business but ours, right? Are you foundational Black American, bro? Because I've been seeing you jumping in the chat. Corey, what's good, family?
What's going on, Water G?
What's good, Corey?
I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling. Yeah, this dude Troy Body, he's a troll, man. He's one of these tethered trolls. You have a consistent group of trolls that come in here to try to get their little feel. So he's, he's tethered trolls.
Consistent, yeah.
And then my thing is with these dudes, with these subtle threats that they be doing, y'all don't understand that we're the toughest Black people on the planet. Like y'all are not fucking with us, bro. We've been over there to where y'all are at, where you live, and where you congregate. Y'all are not. You getting smacked up by Indians. You got Chinese people in South Africa, stomping down on people, enslaving people. You got Indians who you bend the knee to in Mombasa and Ghana and Nigeria. You got Indian-only schools and stores. So you get discriminated against in your own shit, in your own homeland where you're the majority, and you trying to threaten us like y'all are not tough. And another thing, which countries in Africa fought wars for freedom? Which countries in Africa fought to get out of colonialism? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I really want to know. Which of these countries fought?
Right.
You can't name a single country in Africa that organized on their own behalf and engaged with Europeans, besides the Ethiopians. And who was behind the Ethiopians? Black Americans. The Brown Condor, John Robinson, is the one that went over there and started their Air Force.
For real, yeah.
Started the Ethiopian Airlines. So what are we talking about?
He has to be a Democrat, because everybody who points, that's the same Democratic narrative. Like Trump, yeah, Trump. It's like you're trying to point us to go get Trump.
And that's my thing. It's like, instead of being so concerned about what we're doing politically, why don't you organize both? And that's my thing. I don't even care if you organize here to get something out of the government, because you already been scamming and plotting and sneaking. I don't even care if you do it. Just stop trying to include yourself in our shit. Do your own thing. Do your own thing over there. Y'all don't have nothing to do with us. We're not trying to be members of the new African Republic or the new Black, all that all that type of shit. Do that over there. This don't got nothing to do with what y'all got going on. You know what I'm saying? So, and yeah, like I was saying before, like, you can't go to any of these countries that I've been to. You can't go to any of these countries and purchase land and colonize the land and pretend to be the people and disrespect the locals and say whatever you want about the local population. They're going to get you up out of there immediately. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're going to get you up out of there.
He wants us to support them. He wants us to support them scamming the country and running our tax dollars up.
But my thing is, like, and I always say this when I come up here, it's like, as a man, why do you want to move into my house and benefit off what I'm doing? So you're so lazy that you can't build up, like in Namibia right now. They have 2 or 3 major cities. Outside of the major cities is basically, the northern area, and then there's a southern desert area. In the northern area, who do you think's developing? Like, these are the so-called quote unquote tribal areas. Who do you think's developing these areas? Who's putting up the radio towers? Who's giving these people Wi-Fi and cable and modernizing the country? Do you think it's the local Namibian men?
Hell no.
It's the Chinese and it's the Indians.
Right.
So in Africa, you're relying on somebody else to develop your infrastructure. You know what I'm saying? And you coming over here trying to pretend to be. Why doesn't nobody talk about that? Just how bitch made that is. You're not developing your own homeland. You're relying on another man to develop your shit at home. You got no say-so at home. And then you run into another man's house fronting like you that man so you can get what he got, what he already fought for. Can we really talk about how bitch made that is? Like, why is that not something that we talk about? I just, for the life of me. You know what I'm saying? You know how we was raised, whether or not you from the South, the West, or the East Coast. We ain't never kissing Indian ass. We ain't never kissing no Chinese ass. We ain't never kissing one of these people's ass. You might, they might, do their little passive aggressive shit, But when it come down to it, stepping and getting
Right.
busy,
We ain't
none
finna
of these
let
groups want to do that with us. None of them. You know what I'm saying? We're really like, we really will take it there. Like, and then it's like, because I was listening to Tariq's broadcast and he was saying, he was talking to some Nigerian tether, and he's like, well, what war have you fought? What war have you won? And what people don't realize is that these riots, like the Newark riots, Detroit, all that was warfare. That was, okay, you guys are not going to respect us politically and give us and acquiesce to our demands. So now we're going to make everybody uncomfortable. Now we're going to start slowing down the economic levers. Now you can't make money. Now you can't get on this highway and drive to your job in your cush office. We're going to make you uncomfortable so that you can't do it. It's done. That's called warfare, sir.
Yeah.
That's warfare. You know what I'm saying? Africans don't have a history of doing nothing. Y'all don't do shit. But matter of fact, in Kenya, it was just a major, you know what I'm saying, a major uprising out there. They're rioting and doing the most. Who do you think is killing? Who do you think is killing people? It's the police, and it's all black people.
Yep.
It's all black people out there that's wilding on each other. You know what I'm saying? It's all y'all all the same, but you can't get past your tribal bullshit to work together. And then you want to come here and be even more tribal. Bro, it's 2025. Niggas is not on that. But you know what? Now we're gonna get on that because that's how y'all move. We have to show y'all we're not it's too much disrespect, man. The Latinos,
it's too much.
Asian,
like you remember when that dude told us how uncomfortable it would be for us to be over there, and I know you was over there in Africa, but he came on here and he was like, yeah, you know, you wouldn't even make it out alive. And I'm like, it's not uncomfortable for them over there because of the Democratic Party, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, as soon as they see that you're not African or you're not one of them, you know, yo, I'll put it to you like this. In Africa, coonery is the name of the game. Like, that's the default. You know what I'm saying? They don't have an issue with Chinese going over there, with Jews going over there, with all these other ethnic groups going over there. But the minute that they see a black person, and truth be told, I rock with the blacks in the UK, but here's what I don't understand about them. They don't call out the Africans because the Africans do the same shit in the UK and all these other places. They do the same disrespectful shit. The Nigerians they go over there and they do the same shit. You know what I'm saying? They do the same shit. The disrespect. And the UK blacks really don't say nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? Because I guess they trying to, or whatever ties that they got to their failed homelands, they trying to maintain that shit, but they don't talk about it, bro. These Africans are like next level. That's part of their culture. Next that's literally like, yeah, yo, that's just the standard over there. Like if you're not black or if you're lighter skinned, you just get priority. You get priority. And I'm speaking from experience. I'm a lighter dude or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm speaking from experience. They get priority.
Right.
And I'm like, well, how are you complaining about systems in a country that you control where you're the majority population? Take your fucking take the thong sandals off, put on some fucking dress shoes or something, and get to marching. Do something. Organize. Do something. Instead, you want to run. Like, why is that the end goal? To just run somewhere else and then let Africa just fucking diminish. You know what I'm saying? Just decay. What is that? But then you coming over here, you repping that shit like it's like you a blood or a crip. You coming over here with the Ghana flag and you got all these flags, but you're not never trying to go home though. That's
crazy. We can't let them. No, we gotta stand on that business. We gotta stand on letting people understand that that's important. If you're gonna rep something, you really gotta stand on it. That's like halfway to me. But we got Be Easy, that dude in the chat, man. I don't know if that's Troy or not. What's good, Be Easy?
Hey, what's good with you, bro? How you doing?
Good, brother. Are you Troy that was in the chat?
Nah, definitely not. I don't know.
Okay.
I have no idea.
I'm just making sure. You don't know who that is. All right, family. Where you from?
I'm from the Bay Area.
Bay Area, okay. California. All right.
You're out in Oakland right now.
Oakland. Yeah, Oakland got a lot of history out there.
Yes, sir. The home of the game, the land of the scandalous. But yeah, just to I just kind of chimed in. I hopped on one of your panels before, but I remember it was like a super bad echo, and it was just a little bit too much. You feel me with some of the people. But now, yeah, you got it all crisp and everything. But so think about this. You know what I mean? Like I'll give an urban street analogy, right? So if Cats is banging sets, right? You know what I mean? And Cats is saying, hey, I'm from this particular block, right? I'm from, it don't matter where you're from, O Block, you feel me, the BX or whatever, right? You have to stand on that, right? If you rep that, people expect for you to have, you know, some sort of credibility in that area. People expect you to have built in that area. People expect you to reside in that area. So otherwise, if you repping it, it's kind of like a false flagging. Like, what are you really representing? Almost like whatever sport team you like, you know what I mean? I'm from the Cali, but my family is from Alabama, right? Imagine you repping Roll Tide in Alabama, but you don't care about the fortunes of the team. You don't care if the team win a championship. You don't care if they... So what are you repping it for? So that leads me to the people that are flying the flags, i.e. somebody like Kodak Black. He always has a Haitian flag around. The nigga never been to Haiti. He doesn't want to go to Haiti. He said they eat people over there. Mind you, this dude is Haitian. You feel me? He's dark as heck, right? But he don't like dark-skinned women. He damn near don't even really like black women and stuff. But he's always Haitian, right? Except for when he does a crime, then suddenly that's black culture. No, that's Haitian culture. You feel me? Hold your own nuts, hold your own filth. Hold your own lineage, you know what I mean? So if Cats is going to be flying a flag, we have to hold them to the standard of the flag that they holding. It's a nigga named Barbecue over there that they consider that they saying that he like a cannibal or something like that. Is that propaganda? Let's ask the Haitian. Show me one. You see a bunch of FBA's podcasts or broadcasts standing on FBA business. Show me the Haitian podcast standing on Haitian business, or the Jamaican podcast standing on Jamaican business, flying a Jamaican flag when the Jamaicans on Jamaica have access to less than 1% of their beaches. So imagine me flying a flag of Oakland, but I can't even walk around Oakland. I'm that nigga in Oakland, but bruh, you can't even show your face in Oakland. Would that be respected? Hell no. So why would we respect it from somebody else? You feel me? Nigga, I'm from the soil, but you can't set foot on the soil. You from Nigeria, but you can't go over there and get it popping. Like, what am I supposed to respect about that?
That's facts, man. I can't say nothing. You right, bro. You 100% right. It's no reason. Or don't rap it. You know,
that's why we say just stop repping it, because now you repping it like what you saying is, oh, y'all colonized, y'all still flying that dusty American flag. Our flag is better. So you represent the fabric of cloth that was given to you by somebody that wasn't even of your lineage. At least we had a hand in making a flag. It was an FBA sister, Grace Swisher, I believe her name was, who had a hand in putting in this flag. And if the flag was so bad, why do you flee here to kneel and bend the knee to this flag that you say we shouldn't represent? You're kneeling before and worshiping the flag that we had a hand in, but then you're flying a flag from a place that you don't want to go back to. That makes sense. Even in a sports sense, imagine you rocking, you feel me, Dallas Cowboys jersey, but you don't want to go to the Dallas Cowboy games. You don't want to contribute to the team. You don't want to do anything to uplift the Dallas Cowboys, but you'll occasionally wear a jersey and say, "Go Cowboys." You're not doing anything to advance the team. What actually people, what are they doing to advance their homeland? And then some of them are sending money back. It's called remittances, but they're not sending the money back to build up their community. They're going over there to be the man. They're going over there. They're going up over there to stunt on their people. So all they're trying to do is just go over to try to be like the
rich, be like rich over there.
African Boule. That's what they're trying to go over there and do. That's all they want to do, because otherwise, why are they not talking about this stuff, right? Then when you say, "Hey, what's the issue?" Then they say, "The government, it's the government." But then when they tell us, "Stop begging the government. Why you always begging for the government? Y'all need to do for self." And then when I say, "Hey, why y'all ain't doing for self in your homeland where y'all the majority and y'all have the resources?" It's the government. It's the government. So they want to blame the government, But we can't say that. We got to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps. And I say, okay, fine. We do have to do that. So that means y'all got to pull yourself up by your flip flops. And then they start saying you xenophobic and all this other type of stuff. But could you refute what I said?
Mm-hmm. No, not at all, fam. Not at all. We got to start, because in any way, anything you rep, that, like, you can't rep it, especially here in America, and we don't see you standing on it. And we see a lot of that, and we don't check it because we unfamiliar with that kind of behavior. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion. But Corey, man, what you feel about what he said?
I mean, yeah, we all saying the same thing, just at different tempos,
Right.
Yeah, it's embarrassing, man. These people are an embarrassment, man. And I got to stay on the Africans, but it's not just them. It was a video I seen in Miami with a Cuban tether, white Cuban. He's talking about the N-word, and he said, "What up, my N-word" to some dude out there, and I guess the dude started recording. I don't know if you saw that video, and the dude was just recording and standing there, like a bitch and talking about the history of the word and all this old shit. And I'm like, just how they behave, man. It's so feminine. It's so like, it's so bitch made. I don't understand it, because then they come over here and then they act tough, like the brother was just saying about Kodak Black. This dude walks around looking like little black Sambo, and he's supposed to represent black people. He's supposed to represent black Americans. And I'm just like, yo, what part of the, like, where did that get lost in translation? You know what I'm saying? And then I seen another video with a white Asian dude, because now the Asians are making videos talking about their own people and how they've been operating, kissing white ass, and since they started coming over here in the 60s and 70s. And it was a video, the chick was, one of the girls had commented, she was like, yeah, there's a hierarchy in America, and the Latinos feel like they're better than the black Americans, and then the Asians feel like they're better than black Americans. And I'm like, well, being a student of history, the only people in Asia that really fought back were the Vietnamese.
Right, yeah.
So how you coming over here and you got this weird racial hierarchy, and you're coming into our home? Again, I mean, the logic applies across the board with all these groups. You coming over here to our shit and you disrespecting us, but then you're pretending to be us. That's the shit that's like, it's crazy to me. And then you look at the homelands, whether it's Colombia, Brazil, any of these places, they're all in a shambles, basically. They're essentially shanty towns and sex tour zones for white European tourists. You know what I'm saying? That's essentially what these places are. You know what I'm saying? What you saying, brother?
No, I was saying, no, I concur with what you're saying. And I just want to say that it's all run by their people. And remember, and I always challenge people to make an example like this. Remember the elder, Muhammad Ali. He said, I ain't going over there to fight Nam. They never called me nigga. And the irony of that is that when they came over here, guess what they start calling us? But you can't name an example in the opposite, in the reverse. Name a Vietnamese or just an Asian athlete, period, that have stood up for black people like that. He went against his own country, which some could call that treasonous, and said, no, man, we don't agree with what y'all doing in Vietnam. And not only that, they didn't call me no nigga, so I don't got no issue with them. And they came over here and they worked with the alphabet agencies to even take over the black hair care industry and to shut us out. So they weren't just these innocent model minorities, bro.
Right.
Yeah, the Asians, man, they get a pass a lot of the time, man, because we like the Shaw Brothers movies and the food and all that type of shit, fucking on their women. But it's really time for us to start collectively coming together and addressing the behavior from these people, man. Real talk.
Facts. Listen, I'm with y'all on that, but I want to get y'all opinion about this. I had talked about this on the video earlier this week. They got an act, okay? The African Diaspora Investment and Development Act. How do we stop them from taking our tax dollars and really funding people to come over here? And we know they taking money too, but how do we stop this, bro? Like, I want to get y'all opinion. How do we get this up out of here?
I'm assuming that these are Democrats. It looks like, I don't know the country origin.
Definitely all. This is, let me show you.
Yes.
They're definitely all Democrats. Anything on that? When it's talking about us and black, I noticed even with the boule, they're all Democrats. I never seen a Republican.
And most of them are non-FBA as well. And that Plaskett lady, she had a hand in helping cover up much of what Epstein was doing as well. So these are the quintessential epitome of the definition of tether. They'll use their identity to tether on to blackness. Hey, we blackity black just like y'all. But when you look at all these people, what they identify is not as black and not even as African American. They identify as Caribbean, and all of them lean into their immigrant background. So they used to, so instead of the story, they used to want the story where it was like the downtrodden black person, and they'd be like, okay, look, this person came from a single mom household or something like that. So now they switched that to say like, oh, this person came from an immigrant background. That's supposed to be the new struggle story. So it's not about, overcoming the Jim Crow, the redlining, that they trying to lay that to the wayside. They're trying to make the immigrant story as they had to overcome Trump's ICE raids. And look, they still made it to become a politician and scam a place like Minnesota.
Thanks.
I mean, you seen that what they had? Two Haitian dudes had a $7 million SNAP benefit scam. People, and mind you, especially with Biden's law, they was locking niggas up for if you had a fingernail of crack, they was giving you football numbers, bro.
Right, I remember that, bro.
But what's happening with these Somalis, bro? Like, I'm not hearing a lot of heavy numbers coming around. If anything, I'm seeing people play more defense. Like, no, you can't generalize the community, right? You can't say that that's Somali culture, even though they scammed billions. But if one crusty, musty, dusty nigga in Chicago does a drive-by, suddenly we all have to answer for it. I don't know that nigga that did that, right? That's not systemic. But if you look at what happened with these scams, they're well-oiled machines. That's literally cultural.
Yeah.
But it's not only that, they have buy-in from the whites. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the part that we're not looking at. They have buy-in. All of this shit is structured and allowed by white people, ultimately. You know what I'm saying? And the government. They are the ones who are leading.
He signed off on it.
Because look at it, right? Like I'm in Guam right now, right? This is supposed to be a Chamorro area, Chamorro land, local people, whatever the case may be. But when you look at who controls it, who's economically colonized it, it's all Japanese people. You know what I'm saying? It's Japanese and Korean people. It's people that's not from here. So they'll allow other people to come and undermine the local population to benefit themselves. And that's the part that we're not talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I got Weebug finna come on, man. Your TV was loud when you was watching us, man, so I had to mute you. But come jump back on, I'll let you send your piece. So this African diaspora, somebody put that the bill was introduced, like it's not in. Suggestions, contact other legislators not support it. But
well, this is kind of a nothing burger and it's not gonna go anywhere. However, if we did get behind it, it would have some traction because the white Democrats, they love to do this because especially anything where they can get money overseas because, there's really no account for it. So it's a lot of money laundering. They set up organizations, shell companies to distribute the money. And then they say, here, we'll give the money. So you see, it's just like Red Cross where they say, hey, look, we're going to build all these homes in Haiti. They got billions of dollars and spent like 13 homes. But then they always move on to some other political issue. So nobody double backs and say, hey, what actually happened with that money after all? Same thing in Hawaii. Remember those fires recently in Hawaii? What nobody ain't even talking about it no more because they like, oh, you got to talk about Charlie Kirk or you got to talk about this. And, oh, Netflix got a new show. So they're good at, pivoting to something else. So people just got to push the line and really be able to voice your opinion. Send emails. You can copy and paste the same email, pull up, you know what I mean? It don't even really take that many people, bruh. If you got 20 people and you pull up at a PTA meeting, that's going to be deep. Always think of it about this way. If you invite somebody over for dinner and they bring 20 people, That's going to be a lot, right? So if it's a lot to bring to your house, it's a lot in any other scenario. If you go to the club with 20 people, that's a lot. You feel me? Hey, if y'all want to rumble in the streets and you got 20 of your hitters with you, that's a lot. So take 20 of your hitters down there, send emails, be in these politicians' faces. And not only that, you got to put the pressure on many of these content creators as well, because don't just be making content where they just crying about the Black community, but they have no solutions. I don't use this word often, but that what you call grifting, because once you talking about a problem while also not presenting a solution, that's a form of whining. You feel me? People will say shit like, man, the Black community is dead and I left it a long time ago. But then you look down a timeline, they whining about a Black community. I thought you said it was dead. If you left the community, go be in the white community and talk about how good it is over there. You feel me? Why are you reaching back to the mud? Imagine you was on I put it in terms like this. If we on the Lakers and somebody's like, man, the Lakers is done, man, I'm on the Warriors. Would you want to hear somebody on the Warriors coming to the Lakers practice telling y'all what y'all need to do? Nigga, you on the Warriors. Go worry about you already left team alone, bro. We on Laker business over here, bro. So it's fine. I say, people, if y'all want to leave the community, go, but we don't want to hear y'all from the bleachers. We don't want to hear y'all from the stands. We standing on FBA business, and you think that that's dead. We showing you that it's still alive. We don't need no cancerous defeated attitude in the mix. Go be with your mixed community, your people of color community. Go be with them. You feel me? And I think that's perfectly fine. The issue is people just trying to infiltrate and kind of, grift off FBA. People got Black fatigue, but every day, what are they talking about? They ain't talking about how superior Asian culture is. They ain't talking about how great the W people are. They talking about Blacks this and Blacks that. And I got fatigue. Imagine you saying you got chicken fatigue. Hey, what you about to go do? Oh, I'm about to go eat some chicken. I thought you had fatigue of chicken. Go ahead, bro.
No, facts, man. Facts. Jarvis, salute, man. We got Wee Bug in the house 28, bro. What's up, man? Holla at us.
Man, what it do, folks?
What's good, family?
I'm sitting here loving it. Hey, I don't want to break the wisdom. I want to listen more. I was getting busy in the chat earlier. You know what I'm saying? I'm like the spotter, the pointer. I consider myself a young man, but I'm really like 56. I'm not that young. But I like to just spot out shit for the youngster to beam on and focus to, because it's an all-out war and we're fighting on many fronts. And so if everybody know they role, I mean, we got some very smart, intelligent young people that are powerful. Whenever the lady in Israel, the prime minister, whoever she was, said the Blacks in America was the one to be concerned about, that's what it is. So it's just me just playing my position. I'm like a spotter. If it's a young man that I could talk to, then we can go from there. But that's my role.
I dig that. We salute, man. We appreciate that. Where you calling from?
I'm calling from Riverside, but I'm originally from Los Angeles. Another tribal spot. We all tribal, man. We all tribal.
Cali in the building tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And look, if we could just get on code by region, you know what I'm saying? Just by region.
Just by region, the South. Let's get the Midwest on coast, the North and the West, man. You right, man.
Hey, the war is over once that happened. If that can happen, we fighting a war against ignorance.
Yeah, we is.
You know what I'm saying? That is the coldest one. Some people don't even understand that they still reaching back to Africa and want to get on the boat and victimize themselves. When it's just too much, it's too much to learn, and it's don't seem like it's enough time.
So What you like most about how we standing on the business lately, man? How we been coming through like we got somebody else.
Hey, you know what I like? I like the y'all using that same ray as the sun. It's more brighter now. It's not yellowish. It's that hard, white, intense blue light. That's you. Whatever they do, y'all shining it right back on them.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying?
Big facts. Yeah.
Right? And when you imparting that kind of knowledge in real time, people have enough time to maybe hear something like, "Wow, I didn't know that." You know what I'm saying? You know, we're the oldest people in the world. This is the old world.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of stuff has to be massaged in. You know what I'm saying? You could tell a motherfucker, give a motherfucker a game in the next 30 minutes and blow his mind. But you got to give him time to digest it and then do his own independent study and then you know what I'm saying? The odds have been weakened by darkness too long, you know?
Facts. Now y'all over there in Cali, I want to ask y'all, you and Be Easy, man, about Huey P. Newton, man. Huey P. Newton from over that way, right? He from California,
from Oakland.
right? He from
Oakland, yeah.
Oakland, man.
Yeah, that's right.
Give me some game about Huey P, man, because we looked up to him from down here from the South, man. We know, everything he stood on, but, they kind of be talking sideways. I be hearing some people about, how he was on drugs and stuff like that, but I feel like he was a solid brother and stand on business. Y'all let me know how it is over there on the
And
west
just to let
side.
the brother know, like, your TV or whatever is in the background, it's still kind of loud, bro.
My TV, let me turn it down, man.
Yeah, whoever that, yeah.
Let me turn it down, because
just mute.
Sorry about that. Yeah, that's my bad. Let me turn it down. Is that better?
Yeah, I don't even hear it at all, so that's cool.
Yeah.
All right, but go ahead, Be Easy, man, about Huey P, man. That's a legend. Go ahead.
I mean, that is a legend, and see, I usually you also got to look at who's doing the criticism, especially when you're talking about drugs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has their own type of vices, and typically somebody that made that accusation or that slanderous remark, I'm sure they was on some type of drug.
Mm-hmm.
So that just kind of negates anything that they ever said. And then also, it's a bunch of politicians that's on all sorts of type of drugs. You know what I mean? You see all these people in these Epstein files now. You know what I mean? So people ain't going after them. So I don't think that the man's legacy and career should be reduced down to that. Yeah, he was on drugs and end up, getting smoked in the hood and stuff. But look at what he was up against. Look at what he was standing on, even at his young age, in even more oppressive conditions. Right now, people will say, oh, man, things have got better. So then that means that you have no excuse to not accomplish what he did. So then when you measure your accomplishments up to his, it pales in comparison. So now you actually look weak. And let's just take all of the dirt that they want to throw on him, that he was a misguided druggie. How did you let a misguided druggie outperform you?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You're supposed to be sober. You in the information age, you have more access to resources than he ever did. People have more money than Huey P. Newton ever did. So why didn't you outperform him? Where's your free breakfast program? What is stopping you from doing that right now? Newton also wrote the 10-point program. Where's your 10-point program? He demanded justice. What are you demanding? He demanded decent housing. Have you did that for your people? He was educating his own people, tutoring them. Have you did that? You have more money than Huey P. Newton. You say that you ain't a druggie like him. How was a druggie able to outperform you? He had free breakfast clinics for children. They had medical clinics with health screenings. They had ambulance services, especially for people with sickle cell anemia, and testing them. They did legal aid.
Mm-hmm.
They locking niggas up left and right. Are you trying to make sure that you bestowing the knowledge so that these people are legally prepared? They were helping people with prison visitation assistance. They had martial arts training. So it wasn't a bunch of fat people running around. They was training people. All of this stuff could be done right now. So if you haven't been doing it, I don't want to hear no criticism about Huey P. Newton. And that's just what I can just say off the top. Everything I said you could be doing now. And if you're not doing it, Like, what are you whining to me about? Why are you whining online? Why didn't you start your own martial arts training? Why didn't you start training kids on youth? What is stopping you from doing that?
Facts, bro. Facts.
Y'all got it.
Facts.
He was
Go ahead,
cooking.
Weeble.
Now you know I'm from LA, right? So
Right.
I know of UEP Newton as a youngster, and you know, a lot of the LA chapters. Roland Freeman, you know, the guy that was in the SLA shootout on
Mm-hmm.
46 and Central, and you know, so I was able to benefit from him surviving that, and he didn't really give us a whole lot of game. I guess he was still trying to, you know, live down the horrors of that shit itself. And that's the thing about these the other generations. A lot of times they don't carry all of the shit that they went through to the youngsters, you know, because they
Right.
be trying to give people a different angle. They don't want to, you know, drag their old stuff. But I think it's necessary to impart the knowledge so they know what they're up against. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times we would be around him. He didn't, you know, he didn't say a lot about that. But you know, UEP Newton, uh, you know, he summed it up in a nutshell. That was a guy who was educated and brave. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I wouldn't say he was one of Oakland's warriors, but his heart and his valor to stand up against them folks is say a lot. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
we need more people like that. And I
Yeah.
believe that this at this juncture we're dealing with a world symposium of people to try to colonize us.
Yeah.
And the only way that that we have a chance on offsetting that is to continue to start, you know, talking to each other and dialoguing, and
Mm.
eventually putting protocol through, you know, establishing trust with each other, you know,
Yeah.
treaties and shit. If you don't put these treaties in place, we're done.
Yeah. We need
You
peace treat. Yeah, we need them treaties, man.
absolutely,
Okay.
you put the treaties, and I see it on the way, but it's just kind of slow. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of slow. They do shit like they got Krishanda in there, right? What's the blue face girl? She went
Mm-hmm.
to Compton, right? They set it up like she went in there and beat up all Compton, right? When we know that there was some guys protecting them girls from eating her alive. But you know, when you have stuff like that, what that puts out is that Compton looks weaker. Not that it means a whole lot, but a lot of times that's what starts up stuff. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Big
And so
facts.
you have people that are in power that's weird and don't have our best interest in. I mean, once upon a time, that's the problem. We on the internet a little bit too much. I think we need to
Yeah.
be a little more strategic too, because they stole
Mm-hmm.
everything from us on the internet. The internet was the last frontier for them to jump in our world. You know, we have been segregated until the internet came. The best thing you can do about our culture is see us on TV. Now we on the internet a little bit too much. It's good, but then it's not so good.
Yeah, because our plans and everything. I'm with you on that, man. Our plans and everything is out uh for everybody to see. But I want to get another question with y'all with Darhart Perry, because he was over there on the west side, and I don't know if y'all know about him. If y'all not, I'll play a clip. But Corey, let me see how you feel about Huey P. Newton, man, and what the you know, what what the guys over there in Oakland put down. If you know,
Yeah, I
if you
mean,
know about that side.
you know, Bobby Seale, Huey, all these guys, man. They had a nationwide powerful organization that essentially was dismantled by, again, it's the same problem that we've been having, right? The government collaborating with tethers to undermine us. That's just,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's any deeper than that. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
tethers collaborating with the government to undermine us. And that's the same behavior that they display in their homelands which is why they have to come here in the first place. It's really not that complicated. I mean, or you have people that are local who flipped as well, because a lot of people feel like Angela Davis might have some, she might be working with the feds or whatever. But yeah, it's basically these people are cowards, yo. Like they're like NPCs. They're like fucking, I don't even know how to put it. And then it's like when you go and then you live amongst them and you see how they operate, they're willing to do anything to satisfy the needs of self, right? Anything. And take your pick of whatever group of people, whether it's the Asians, the Hispanics, the Latinos. Because I'm gonna keep it a buck. I get right down to it. I don't hold my punches. I just tell it like it is. And because I've been around these people and I see how they live. And like the brother from Oakland said before, like it's all run the treachery, the degeneracy, the lack of respect for the women. All of that shit is coming from the local people, like the men. They're running that shit. For example, Thailand is a giant red light district. You know what I'm saying? It's a giant red light district.
Yeah.
It's known for that. Pattaya specifically, they're known for that. You know what I'm saying? And that's all. It's all legally. It's not legal, but that's how they do business. We don't operate like that. But for some reason, they got beef with us. But anyway, just to in closing, I just say, it's the same thing, right? It's they see an organization from our community that's doing things that's impacting the world for the better. And they have to undermine it because that's what it seemed like it's all about. We're the main characters on this motherfucker.
You're right. The main characters, the only character seem like, and everybody else the villain. But I want to play this clip for y'all, and I want to get some more questions for y'all. I don't know if y'all know about Darhart Perry. This was one of the first people to air the destruction that the FBI had him doing to destroy some of the people. I'm gonna play this little clip and then I'm gonna get y'all opinion on it because it has something to do with California. It was the Writers Club, but let's get it.
He told me a little bit about that he knew that I worked in military intelligence and how would I like to work for him. And also that I knew certain people in the so-called black radical fringe that they would be very interested in finding different information out about. I told him that my term for military intelligence had been very short-lived, that I was not interested in them and I wasn't interested in him either.
By now, this must have been 1968-ish.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The following month, I was going to school on a federal grant and also a VA loan check. My check didn't come down, either one. I had bought a oscilloscope for a television communications class that I was taking from a person that I didn't even know. He just had.
I want to get to the part where he really talked about, hold on, I want to get to the part where he talked about what he was doing.
Me working for him. Again, I told him no, I was not interested. Then,
how would you say that most of those who are doing the same thing that you did have gotten into that behavior? The same way you did, they were coerced?
Coerce, pressure. Some can take it for, I think some might do it for the pay, for the feeling of power. It's a natural syndrome for a powerless person given a pedestal where he can direct, or he can say, well, this man goes to jail or this man stays free.
Okay, so COINTELPRO, shout out to Beat. All right, I want to get y'all, if y'all know about this dude, but I want to get y'all take on the intricate sophistication that was behind destroying the Watts Writers Workshop. He actually said he burnt that down. I want to get y'all opinion on that, especially y'all guys from the West Side, if y'all know about any of this, or are they talking about this in California about how they, the COINTELPRO was over there really heavy destroying stuff. I want to get y'all opinion. You go first, Be Easy.
So no, they're not talking about this. And I learned this, in my latter years, but you should have been learning about this in your younger years because that's when these people were doing this. So when people talk about the infiltration of the Black Panther Party, it could have just stopped there, but no. Like you said, it was the Watts Writers Workshop, the Black Student Union, a bunch of other ones. And he talks about how he operated for 7 years, right? So people could be like, man, there's no way he an informant. He been rocking with us for 5 years. So see, they look at the long game. You feel me? They don't look at this microwave society. They try to slow cook and roast. So his work included obviously sabotage, surveillance, FBI interference and stuff like that. So they would also kind of like egg on certain violent stuff. There was another Asian dude, I think his name was Peter Liang or something like that. Yeah. He was infiltrated for about the same amount of time. He was getting them all the firearms and stuff like that, and he just was able to just sweep under the rug. So their goals was, to suppress obviously the leadership, targeting MLK, Malcolm X, Stokely Carmichael, aka Kwame Ture, Elijah Muhammad, anybody. And mind you, we don't even talk about Medgar Evers, right? He was assassinated pretty much damn near in front of like his house for organizing Black people to vote. J. Edgar Hoover said that America's greatest threat would be a Black Messiah. The same J. Edgar Hoover who was in charge of this COINTELPRO program. So people act like they don't understand systemic racism, and they'll have a white dude on record calling us all sorts of niggas and stuff like that, and then they're ahead of these powerful entities, and people just act like they don't understand what systemic racism is. So yes, they're going to suppress this history, but it's up to us to keep these narratives alive. You know what I mean? They can't erase what the history is, and people got to use the times that we gather to spread information. Now you can use AI, man. Make your own PDF, make your own pamphlet, and when y'all meet up to watch the games on Sunday, hey, here, bro, make sure you read this and take that with you. You can use the AI to make an audio book because they ain't gonna do it for you. Now they trying to actively suppress this. They was proud of like having a boot on our neck, but then when we turn the mirror to them and say, man, this behavior was disgusting and degenerate, they have to own it. So now they want to just destroy the information, and we can't allow that to happen. You can't rely on the enemy or the op to educate your people, you know what I mean? So we have to do a better job of that. But the COINTELPRO, it never stopped. On paper it did, but it's more sophisticated now. They don't have to have it stamped and say, look, we got this government approved COINTELPRO. They can just do it in other ways, and of course they got Palantir and all of these other sorts of surveillance options that makes it even easier to COINTELPRO. And the surveillance that they were doing was actually illegal at that time. And they always talk about accountability for the Black community. Where is the accountability in the white community for illegally surveilling people, wiretaps, bugging homes, offices? They were sending false and anonymous letters. That's considered defamation, creating discord, sowing suspicion. They owned the media, so they were doing media smears, psychological warfare, all of those Willie Horton type ads and things like that. Obviously, the infiltration, the legal harassment where they threaten you with time, where they having the cops pull you over late at night, where they threatening your family members. So it's a lot of stuff that they've been doing, and people just try to act like, we just want to sweep this under the rug, you know what I mean? But yeah, they're just more covert instead of overt. But COINTELPRO never stopped. It just evolved.
Right. We know that it's still going on today, man. So appreciate that. Now, Bug, man, what you feel? You over there, you from the West Coast. How you feel about this brother Darkhart Perry, if you knew about him and knew everything that he did?
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay, so I seen this about 12 to 15 years ago. I had heard about it a little previous to that. And nothing new. I mean, it's the same thing that you remember, these are declassified. In other words, they have won the war on a generation, right? So now they can talk about it because it's 20 years it came by. The same thing the dude came on and was talking about with Malcolm X too. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
you know, after a while, maybe 7 years, I think that they consider seven like a lifetime or something like this. Something about that seven, and
Yeah.
a lot of times they declassify because this it's been about maybe 10 years and blew by and everything is calm and we can you know talk about it, right? Because they don't want no karma, so
Mm-hmm.
they want to tell you. And also, even speaking on that, right, there is racism for the mental, but don't think that the white man is the one solely running the world. These is niggas that don't care nothing about color, but they will
Mm-hmm.
pitch you because this is about power. We can't all be wealthy like that. You know what I'm saying? That's like right now, right? They cracked the whip on us, have us paying all these bills in taxes, and they say taxes is volunteer, but don't let you pay for it. You ain't got no army. You're gonna have to answer. So it's just so
Mm-hmm.
much stuff that they go to war with you. They go to war with you on food, right? They selling you all of this bullshit hybrid GMO stuff. They even go to war with you with the weather. You know what I'm saying? These
Mm-hmm.
new people can't
Right.
tolerate this sun in America. So now what they're doing is they customizing the weather. If you travel to a certain part of California, all of a sudden all year round is cloudy. And guess where that is? It's in the new Chinese community in San Gabriel, California. So, you know, we peep it all the time. And
Yeah.
it's like you know, it's hard, but it's good to be able to point stuff out to people who may be younger and more stronger. And here's the other thing, right? A lot of times you only see somebody at the height of their you know, activism or whatever, right? And then you
Right.
don't hear about the other side of it is later on they settle and you know get a comfortable job in the same establishment that they was fighting against in the university and shit. And you hear that with a lot of stuff is at first they talking shit or they standing and they mean well, but eventually they wear down. So I'm saying at 30, you know, 29, 30, 35, give it up and pass it on to somebody else because you're not the same person you was when you was 18, 19, or even 25. And that's the problem. You got people fighting and they don't, you know, they don't know that after a certain while, you just ain't with that no more. And
Right.
so that's what they wait for you to when you get reasonable from the ass whooping of fighting for like 20 years. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And this is the stuff that we looking at, and them people become professors, and guess what they do? They green light the fucking you know, these people uh giving history with a spin. They still talking about you know, Biddy Mason in Los Angeles owned downtown, but she was a slave prior to that. Everybody in the 1800s that was black, that was inventors, and excuse me for the word black. You know, I know better, but we just trying to relate. These people, all of them, what's that? Granville T. Woods invented the roller coaster. All of these people who were rich in this land of milk and honey that was creating everything. Surely they couldn't do that shit under slavery or duress. But that's the cap that they every time they mention these old great inventors, they always tie slavery to the back of it. You understand what I'm saying? And this is the shit that we fighting against, right? It's like we don't have a chance to just say, "Oh, we, you know, we proudly, you know, built this country and not connect slavery with it." That's some and a lot of times they tell half a truth and then put some scandalous shit on the back. Watch how these cultural appropriators do. They will tell you a half a truth and then put some bullshit on the back. That is a new thing now with YouTube. They, you know it's some boule shit. You know,
Yeah.
or they'll say they Africans and all that stuff.
Definitely say they have. They definitely say that. But all right, brother, man. I appreciate the West Coast, man. Standing on business tonight. But I want to get what Corey, what was your take on this? Did you hear about this brother Darhart Perry before? When did you hear about it, and what you thought about it when you heard about it, if you did?
Yeah, I think Tariq did a broadcast on this like a couple of years ago.
Oh yeah.
And then also you had that movie Judas and the Black Messiah, which they touched on William O'Neill and how I guess he was like a petty thief, a petty criminal, and they forced him to join the Black Panther Party and work under Fred Hampton. And I think what's interesting about that movie is that they'll have a tether play an FBA dude and have the FBA dude play the informant, which I just thought that was interesting. But yeah, I mean, it's the same old thing, right? It's the same conversation. It's the same. It's always them doing everything that they can to undermine us at all costs. You know what I'm saying? And we just have to do better at learning history, knowing who we are, understanding our ethnic group, that we're a separate group, and delineating. I mean, I don't think it's more complicated. That's why everybody's so butthurt right now about it, about the whole delineation movement. You got different agents of confusion coming in talking about the Black Panther Party, and now we need to go back to Black nationalism. We need to start a revolution. When the revolution, like Dr. Amos Wilson said, the revolution is within the mind. The revolution is within. It's your behavior. It's how you think. It's how you move. It's how you operate. It's what you eat. It's how you exercise. It's about the jobs that you do. It's those kinds of things. Everything that you do has to be about the empowerment of yourself and by extension, by to the community. It's really not that, you know what I'm saying? It's really not, we got to get more sophisticated. We got to be more pragmatic. We have to, like the brother was saying, use AI. You can use AI, ChatGPT, Gemini, Grok. You can use whatever to create a lesson that you teach your students, your children. They come home from school. What did you learn in history class today? What did you learn in social studies? What did you learn today? Tell them the truth. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to get a half-ass version. You can't depend on somebody else, like the brother said once again. You can't depend on somebody else to teach your kids their own history, to tell them who they are, what they've been through. That to me never made sense. Like, and I would always ask my father, why is it that you're sending me to the school to learn about my history from Europeans, from people who have done nothing but try to enslave and undermine us for the entire time they've come in contact with us? Why is that? You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people's parents, I don't know, when Gen X happened and they started pushing the crack in the community, I don't know if that kind of did something to the mindset, but we got to get back to the intellectualism that we had in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s. And we got to start pushing back on these, these corny ass white supremacists online, these Nick Fuenteses and all these other people, because what they're doing is they're normalizing anti-Black racism. Yeah. Right? They're normalizing, they're like with Piers Morgan having Nick Fuentes on there. And, I'm not threatened by these things because, I know who I am. As the people who are listening to us, but we have to really address that. There has to be a panel, right? There has to be like just like they have IPAC and the Jewish Anti-Defamation League and all that. We have to organize these things and really start pushing back on this shit, because this is getting ridiculous. Like, you got people comfortable coming from where they, like, as a minority, coming from their failed homelands and disrespecting you on your home turf. That's not a good look. That's not a good look at all. And understand, the reason that this is happening is because this to me is the most important fact, because I've been around these people. I've lived around these people. So I always speak from experience. I speak from anecdote. These people are defeated at home. They're colonized mentally. Whatever group of people you want to pick, the Arab, the Asian, the Hispanic, they're all colonized in their homelands. They're all paying the piper. They're all playing along. They're playing the game. You know what I'm saying? So don't think that they're going to come over here and work with you. It's time for us to start being a little bit more hostile and a little bit more open in addressing the disrespect. That's the biggest thing I got an issue with.
Yeah, and just to piggyback off that as well, and I know others have talked about this, but I know Jason Black, I think even Dr. Neely Fuller talked about this as well. Part of what you were saying too is a lot of these cats, due to the interracial dating and mating, they hop in the bed and they come out confused. You see what I'm saying? So they lose a little bit of their identity. So cats love, some cats love banging snow bunnies. Hey, do what you do who you do. The thing is, after you get done banging her, she still know that she's a Becky who loves pumpkin spice lattes. You start seeing things from a different vantage point. You know what I mean? Kind of like that coach from Michigan. That coach from Michigan who got fired. This dude is Trinidadian. So he sees himself as Caribbean. And he said out of his mouth. He don't see color. He don't see race. And his kids, he said his kids are mixed. His kids are not black. His kids are mixed. You see what I'm saying? So even if society will one drop rule them and call them black, he's saying, no, don't do that. My kids are mixed. And I say, fine. But that's where the confusion is. His white wife is not confused about anything. But this Caribbean dude is, and that's what many people do. They'll get in. They know that they'll get with a spicy Latina, right? Her family hates them. But man, the cooch is so good. So I'm gonna just let the anti-blackness slide. That's the cowardly stuff right there. And that's happened with a lot of our parents too, because the interracial dating and mating, it had pacified them. It ain't no racism. People ain't calling me nigga to my face. It ain't no signs to say no niggas allowed. And look, before I would get lynched for banging a white woman, and now I could bang white women all day. So they thought that it was over. And then, but that's like, that has nothing to do with economics. Nothing has changed economically. You're not enriching yourself economically. All you are doing is having more cooch from groups that you couldn't get action with. But where does that leave your kids, your legacy, your progeny, right? So there's a lot of people did sell out for interracial cooch, and this was both genders. I'm just speaking for the men too, but it was a lot of kind of bed wenches and divestors that did the same thing.
Yeah, and to piggyback off that, I think, as a man, it's normal for you to want to go out and conquer whatever that sort of thing is. Dudes got to get that out their system. But at the same time, you got to, like, this is what I'm on with women. If I meet a woman and we talk politics, we talk ideology, and we're not on the same page, I'm not going to lay down with you. Like that part of the game. Dudes don't have discipline. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a little bit more discipline. You got to have a little bit more self-respect. That's why dudes get in these situations with these women, and years later, the woman is taking them for everything because you haven't shown her you respect yourself. Not to turn this into a dating show or anything like that. But that's a major problem. That is a major issue. I'm saying the confusion, the sexual confusion, just all these different levels of confusion, right? But my problem is, or my thought process is, rather than trying to educate Trinidadians and Jamaicans and all these other people who tried to other themselves and get away from being black, my thing is we have to just cut it off. We have to cut out the cancerous tumor and replace it with new cells. And that we do that by educating the children and creating cultural institutions that say, hey, you can't come in our community and disrespect like this. You can't be a white boy and then you making pro-Trump or pro whatever, and you talking about lynching black people in the art form that they created. That level of disrespect while pretending to be us. That's the problem. Right. It's not enough dudes. It's not enough people. These families are not, are not raising enough males, young males, to G-check shit and be ready to get the fist ready if you got to do that. I'm saying to be ready to do what because again, I bring up the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. Brother Martin Luther King and John Lewis and Stokely Carmichael. Yeah, they were the faces. They had the charisma, but at the same time, they had weapons. I'm saying they organized. They were willing to take it there. And that ultimately needs to be the norm in our community.
Facts. OG put it's impossible to do for your people if you ain't with your people.
Hey, I seen that. I was like, that lightweight was a mic drop right there. hey, because this is the thing. People like to try to compare us to all these other groups. Oh, well, the Jews do this. Well, the Jews would agree with that sentiment. You know what I mean? I knew some Jews and they were strict. They used only Jewish only dating sites, only went to Jewish only grocery stores. The chick that I knew, she was like, her parents, she said, my parents would kill me if I married somebody that wasn't Jewish. That's what she told me.
Dang.
Straight up. But here, and like I said, we're not as hard line as that. You know what I mean? All I say is be with who you want to be with. Don't sell out your community and get off code simply because you inside of some slippery vagina.
Yeah, and it definitely got us. It definitely messed us up because I'm seeing more of these mixed babies, and then they mix and be with the other groups, right? So it's already enough. Huh?
Look at the NBA
Yeah, they trying to brown America, right? They're trying to change the face, right? They already got rid of the Indian logo on in Redskin and the Cleveland Browns, and they are going out their way, and they're using the world open the gates, right? To and allow all these people to come here to pretty much invade us, So, and I can't say nothing, right? I want to. But now it seems like it's a huge commonality in Los Angeles to see them different mixed groups, right? And sometimes I want to say something
in LA.
but
That's all you gonna see.
yeah, because it's mostly them now, and it ain't really a whole bunch of regular families. This I seen one the other day and it messed me up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you have it, but you more or less LA then turned into a bowl of gumbo, man. I was on the train the other day. On the train, I got a car, but I like to get on the train, and that's another thing. When you're on the freeway, these Hispanics, they ain't got used to having no car. So after a while, it get real stressful, even trying to drive on the freeway, But I get on the train and I'm the blackest thing on there. You know what I'm saying? That was the most craziest thing, but I felt a sense of power, I seen Indians, Sri Lankans, Chinese, whites, Mexicans, Europeans, Indonesians. I'm like, God, man, when they went in the lab, they made all of these different strands of people. And now I'm looking at the reality, right? A lot of this stuff is created, but the effect is real. Trust me. The effect, the rain. When it rains, you feel the moisture, but it's not real rain. These people are created, but you feel the effect. If you have to get into it with them, it's gonna hurt. If you by yourself.
Right.
But
now,
hey, let me ask you.
Hold on, yeah. So Dave, let's let him go.
Man, hey, look,
we got.
I ain't trying to be messy.
No, go ahead.
Right. Hey, I gotta ask this brother who was just talking about interracial dating and all that. What that brother at?
You talking about Be Easy? Be Easy in the chat.
Yeah, what's up, bro?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm one who partake in that, right? All right. Now, I everything I hear from everybody, it sounds good. But if Byron Allen trying to give back to the black community, you gonna turn him away?
Nah, and if you was listening to
so what are we talking about, bro?
Let him go. Let him.
Bro, so now it sounds like you just was listening to respond, bro.
Nah, bro. I come across this all the time from the fake Umars and all of the people who never was boots on the ground, bro. I've been boots on the ground since I was 17 years old, bro, and still doing it. Like, so if I was a youngster and I listened to what you said, I'd be lost, bro. Because you generalizing, bro. We gonna have to take all the assistance from everybody we can get, bro. Huh?
You literally didn't listen to what I said, bro. So let me sum this up. I said be with whoever you want to be with. I said just be on code. There's no debate.
I got what you're saying, but
if you want code, try to debate me for.
You said earlier that you hate when people come on here that offer a problem but not a solution.
I didn't use the word hate.
Maybe you could hook everybody up with some sisters then. Some sisters that ain't the ops.
Why would it matter? You don't like them anyways. You like the bunny guy.
No. How would you know though? How would you? You can't speak for yourself. Stop speaking for everybody else, bro.
You just said it.
Stop speaking for everybody, bro. You can't speak for everybody, man.
You gotta calm down, brother.
What you mean calm down, bro? I'ma talk, nigga. I'm from the hood. I'ma fucking talk. I ain't about to be on the whole no book type of shit. I ain't in no library.
You should be able to process and listen too, though. The problem is you're too busy talking and responding.
Man, yo, Corey, don't try to fucking correct me, bro.
What the brother said was,
stop that shit, bro. Stop that shit, bro. Stop that shit. I'm talking to this man. He don't need no help, bro. That's some bit. Chill out, bro. Chill out, bro. Calm down, bro. Back the fuck up, bro. Cause you on some more bullshit, bro. Shut the fuck up, man. I'm sitting here and talk to this dude. Shut the fuck up. Why the fuck you assisting another?
That shit, that hood shit don't mean nothing. You're not moving in with that hood shit. What are you talking about?
Man, mute that, man. He all mad. Mute that, man.
Look here. I'm gonna stop it. I'm gonna say something to make y'all laugh for a minute there. Y'all, this here, Mama Lisa. Can you hear me? I just want to say this, and maybe I'll change
come from the hood, man. We the roots. What the fuck is he talking about? See some bitch ass black people in here, man.
Remember that movie? Remember that show? The Orange is the New Black.
Now hold your own.
Okay, I swear I had never heard of it, and I thought it was when y'all was talking about mixed people. I was thinking about mixed kids, like they're changing the black on code.
Okay,
I'm gone, White guy.
Go ahead, Mama Lisa. Go ahead.
I didn't try to disrespect nobody. I was just commenting on that. I hope he wasn't yelling at me because I don't.
No, he wasn't yelling at you. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I was just saying I was trying to just change the mood because they was talking about the mixed people, children, the mixed couple. When I was hearing about that show, Orange is the New Black, that's what I thought that show was about.
Orange
because yes, like y'all be saying they what to call it, replacing us,
Mm-hmm.
with or taking away our blackness and stuff, calling everything else black. That's what I'm, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What did you say, Ben?
No, that was me. That was yes, sir. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good. I'm gonna drop back on down because I ain't getting in the middle of that yelling and carrying on. Thank y'all. I'm gonna go on back. I'm just coming in. I'm gonna go on back and listen.
Okay.
I just wanted to say real quick. What's up, my man? First of all, how you doing, man?
Good.
I'm
man.
a fan of your show, brother.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Yes, sir. You always tapping in, man.
Yeah. No, I had to tap in, man. Look, brother. I'm in. First of all, Indigenous Americans, OCO before anything, FBA.
Right.
But I gotta say this, man, for real, honestly, bro. Look, man, I'm gonna break it down. I'm so anxious. I don't know where to start, but speaking, we just talk about FBA. We talk about we ain't talk about Africans, Caribbean, shout out Melanesians, shout out Aboriginal Australians. We just talk about our lineage, brother.
Right.
Listen, I hear the good deeds you saying. I even heard I was listening to Alpha. I forgot my name, but and they kind of brought up FBA, and they was talking about the dating, with the passport bro movement and the red pill, etc. And it was middle grounded because in a sense, when you go to another country, it's somewhat like you're fleeing, right? It's like, that's what we look at that, like the tethers. Okay, they fleeing their homeland. But the difference is, bro, here's the difference. It's showing that you have options, bro. Because when you're going all over the world, you're an American. When you go anywhere over the world as a man, you are already an American. Then you're black, bro. You're a lineage from where people dress and look like you and imitate you all over the world. You are like a global icon. When you go to Germany, when you go to Asia, when you go to Korea, when they do K-pop, or you go to Japan where they're doing hip hop dancing and battle rapping and wearing mohawks and fades and shape up lineups. Right. I told you when the last time we talked, when you see all races of men wearing shape ups and fades, they're practicing foundational Black American culture. Here's the difference. Men are looking just like us, and men are the leaders, and women follow. So women are seeing their lineage and race of men look like foundational Black American men. This is why everybody want to tether on to our lineage and be like us, or even when they go other places, they mimic us to get women. The difference is we're the real ones. So we actually been the ones who've been race loyal, to be honest, bro. Like we never, like I'm an 80s baby. So I remember a time where like our definition of dating a white chick was like maybe Puerto Rican, depending on Mexican or something like that, depending on where you live. But for the most part, we always pretty much dated within. It's been the other way around with our women, especially in the early thousands when that boss babe era was coming up. we got to understand, this is why you had the Kevin Samuels. This is why you had the Mac lessons, bro. Like, this is why you had all these things, because at a time, bro, you know, especially in that Gen X era when men were getting married in their early 20s, and then we were seeing how those men were getting divorced, how these men were marrying chicks who had kids and they be 38 years old. Most men didn't really know the game like that. Now men are knowing the game, and they're like, well, she's 38, 2 kids, or she's 45 and she never been married. I can just date me a 22-year-old, bro. I got my stuff together. So that's what men are figuring out. And one last but not least, Black women used to marry white men the most. If you go back, this is a history chat. If you go back in the 60s and 50s, white men were marrying Black women at an alarming rate. More than Black men were marrying white women. Matter of fact, Black men weren't even dating out as much. Black men actually was the first passport bros, but we weren't known for dating out like that, because we the ones who got women really wanting big butts and thick lips, because that's who foundational Black American like. Haven't you noticed? You see these younger generation of women, they're doing hip hop dances, taking hip hop classes. They want to get big butts. They want to get thicker lips. Who does that attract? Even Asian women are wanting to do that now. So what I'm saying is, I say all that to say, our women are starting to notice that Black men are dating out as a little bit more, and we're getting the benefits. They're seeing that, especially since we've been delineating. I even say this foundational Black American movement, it kind of slowed the passport bro movement up a little bit, because deep down inside, Black men really want Black women. But the difference is, if we wasn't on this lineage base, if we was on this Pan-African movement, a woman in Brazil is Black. A woman in Colombia is Black.
Right.
You can get the Negritos in Asia.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So check this out. I got a question. So you feel that, how do you feel about with the interracial dating? You feel like it's okay for the FBA brothers to kind of have
I'll tell you
families
this.
with? Go ahead.
I'll tell you this. I got the numbers to back this up, right? We're 14.4%, right? When it comes to mixed races, that's Black, we 15.2%. It was a brother earlier said that even when you mix with us, you're still Black. Remember the one drop rule. We're gonna talk chicken tonight, right? So the one drop rule says if you're Black, even Mariah Carey, she's Black. Holly Berry, she's Black. Guess what? Bob Marley got a white mother. You consider him Black, right? You consider him the culture, right? It's the same thing. So at the end of the day, as men, as leaders, when you have children, look, first of all, you can't stop your children doing what they want to do anyway. So if I have a Black son, he might want a Chinese woman, right? So it's all about raising your child and just teaching her or him right from wrong. That's where it starts. But if we talking mixing with us, bro, yeah, we're the reason why we're 15.2%, because you have a lot of mixed kids who are part FBA. And guess what? The whole world still mimics FBA. So at the end of the day, our women is the one you got to talk to, bro, because I'm letting you know, all women in America, it doesn't even matter. When you go outside this country, it's not even about the men. It's about you. You're not going to be attracted to a man who makes $10,000 a year. You're going to be attracted to the man who at least makes $70,000, $80,000. Well, guess what? When I make $70,000, $80,000, I go anywhere in the world, like Brazil, I'm the man. That's like $300,000 over there. And these women, they're beautiful, bro. Men are attracted to beauty. You can go over there and date a 22-year-old and be 44, and it's normal. Here, the feminist movement taught you that dating a 25-year-old, she's too young to get married. So we got to clear up our if we're going to gatekeep and talk about, our culture and lineage, and you want to produce for FBA, listen, I'm middle grounded with it. But we got to make sure, first of all, we got to teach the younger youth how to do things. We got to teach the women, okay, cool. I like how, we talking about respect ourselves, know our culture and history, but we got to teach them how to have a cookbook, because these other races of women, they're learning soul food. They're learning your vernacular.
Yeah.
Anytime they white boys wearing their hat backwards, that's our culture, bro. They're seeing their race of men listen to rock and roll and country, and they're finding out, damn, FBA men invented that. Wow, these dudes are the sauce. So FBA women better get it together. That's what I'm saying. Because these younger dudes, every day I see, Look, I'm from PG County. I'm from I'm from like the rich, quote unquote richest black county out in the nation outside of DC. It's predominantly black here. When I go to Baltimore City and Philly and New York, that's all I see is interracial dating. It wasn't like that 10 years ago. I'm even seeing it in DC. I'm even seeing it in PG. Okay? These are all black places. Now imagine places like Nashville, Colorado, alias places like that, where these black dudes are kind of like not intermixing, but like in neighborhoods where there's other races. You see what I'm saying? So, and I'm, again, like I said earlier, because I'm gonna pass the mic, but it's brothers really, really want FBA women. Like, let's be real with ourselves.
You can't tell them that though, man.
Huh?
Go ahead. You said
you can't tell them that.
Right. No, y'all talking chicken too, man. Like that's why I had to. I just had to come in.
Hey, bro. I just came back. You cooking, right? You cooking. But what I can't respect is when another man speaks for me, and instead of asking a question, he want to make a statement, a generalization based on what he believed. Like he had all the experiences. Like he know all the mindsets. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, my son, his family. All of them know Black history, bro. It's nauseating how much I pump into them. Look, we the original people. You know what I'm saying? I pump all that stuff. The Bible, I pump all of that stuff into them. I stand on mine. And another thing, bro, is that we bro, we don't realize, bro, that we are everybody pretty much come from us, bro. We in a war, bro. But they got they gun. Like I always tell people, our gun is between our legs. You're not about to be this white man in his army. It's not about to happen. And it's not like we got a limited amount of seed. What are you talking about? So I never understand that when people come at, when they come for, what I'm saying, they start spreading that shit, bro. It's division. I can't stand that hate. I'm all about people getting together. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm about. I'm about unity, bro. And I hate when the young dude got to hear that type of shit, man. And you know what I'm saying? A young dude's supposed to put his life on the back burner and wait for a sister or somebody to do the right thing when he already got the program. The man is the program. No matter where you plant your seed, if it's an apple tree, it's going to be an apple tree. If you plant it in China, you plant it in America, it's an apple tree, bro. It don't matter. You can't wait on somebody your whole life to be on your level, bro, and to follow your program. You just can't wait for that shit, bro. But some people don't live in reality. That's cool in theory. Don't work, bro. Like you said, depending on your location.
Say this too, just to chime in with that. And that's another thing too. And I'm a pass the mic, but this I promise. Our women, bro, and this is another thing too, bro. Like I hate to say this, our women got caught with the feminist juice more than any other race in America, bro. You know what I'm saying? I understand what we've been through.
We got some. Listen, it's a lot of women be on my channel, and
it ain't.
Cool. It's women.
Bro, Rob, that's virtue signaling, bro. That's virtue signaling.
It's anecdotal. Yeah, it's anecdotal.
That's virtue signaling because they really hate us down deep down, bro. I'm telling you, if you the amount of jokers that I got, I'm telling you, bro. If somebody see a dude and say, "Oh, he with that person," but do you know how many sisters that he done went through, and then finally he got a yes from somebody else? Like you wasn't with this brother on the whole journey. Like that's really crazy, bro.
Listen,
I don't think the conversation was about.
Look, this FBA, we trying to keep it FBA.
But it's the vision, bro. It's the vision, bro. FBA is FBA. No matter what kids they bring in, it's gonna be FBA regardless. So what are we talking about? Because somebody who we worried about who somebody's fucking. If they raising their kids up to be an agent for us, then that's all that matters. Because you can have two black couples have a baby and they be the ops, bro. What are we saying here, man?
Right. But I will say this
though. We talk about representation.
I hate that divisive message,
preserving our lineage, bruh. That's what we talking about.
Preserving your lineage is preserving the culture.
If you want to go and make you a family, that's fine. I have nothing against that. But there is a certain.
I'm asking you, how you not preserving your lineage when you spreading your seed, bro?
We have a certain. We have a certain a look and a certain mystique about us Americans. Okay, we're not gonna let a few selfish people. We're not gonna do that.
So let me ask you this.
You feel. That's I respect you.
All right. So let me ask you this. So you telling me when a brother have a sister, a baby by a non-sister, that his sperm just run out? That's it. Game
I'm
over,
telling you,
Batman. Like, what are you saying, bro?
Calm down. I'm telling you
No, what are
that
you
I've been
saying,
with.
bro?
Why won't you calm down, man?
Because you
Calm
ain't got
down.
nothing. That's what I mean.
Stop
That's exactly what I mean
being
right
so
there, man.
emotional. Stop
Now
being so emotional. Let
you
me
can
talk.
deflect. You can.
I'm saying I'm with my wife right now. We've been together 25 years. What you saying?
I had to take. He would, they chat telling me, "Go ahead." I wanted you to talk. I had to, take him my plat. She said, "Please pass the mic." Go
And
ahead, brother.
congratulations to that. That's beautiful too. 25 years.
Yeah, go ahead with that, man. Go ahead. You've been with your wife for 25 years. My mom and dad been together.
It ain't been easy.
Yeah. Go
It's
ahead.
part of me being a man is to be able to meet the challenge of dealing with her. Some of these watered down niggas have not stepped up to the plate. I'm not gonna male bash. I'm not gonna man bash. I'm not here for that. I'm pro Negro, right? We in a war, a gender war. These niggas is taking the soft route. I can't get with that right there. If you want to do that, I'm not gonna knock you. It's a few people in the audience. I love you. But I'm saying I'm trying to preserve the America that I know. I don't have very long. I know that my time is gonna come. Somebody needs to know that this is Negro land. Okay, India, Negro land. All this is over here, and we and the sour niggas from America went over there and created Africa. It wasn't even livable. Say I'm wrong. It wasn't even livable. And then you know what they did to the niggas in Europe? The same niggas went and gentrified Europe and ran them niggas down to Africa. Say I'm lying. You got to do your homework to know this.
Talk to edge. We
Okay,
everywhere.
you got to do your homework to know that the Scottish people relocated to where? Fucking not Zimbabwe, that country over there where Idi Amin was. Okay,
Uganda.
In Rhodesia, all of these French made and all of this shit is bullshit. Okay, see, a lot of people don't even know the secret is that all of this shit was created here. All these foreign places were created here. France is American, okay? Spain is American, okay? And England is America, okay? We can go to work. You don't have to believe
Let's
me.
go. Let's
I done
talk
did
that.
my homework. See, I
Even
know
English
that
come from
since
the United States.
huh?
Even English come from the United States. We can go there.
England is old England is
English,
all that.
the
Let me
language.
tell you something. Before people had cars, they had trains and horseback, okay? And before that, it was waterways, okay? See, them people, the brutish Moors, right? And don't get all butthurt when I say Moors. But the brutish Moors, which is the brutish, the brutes is up in Buffalo, in Canada, and all up there by Boston, and all they regulated that and created that Hudson Bay. That shit that was all land. They carved that shit out. They made the Great Lakes. See, once you know, then you know that they mastered all of those dynamics and created these rivers to make America this great waterway it is today. This water world.
But let me ask you this though, bro.
And
You sound familiar. Like you got a channel. You sound familiar. But let me ask you this though. Okay.
I want to finish, but go ahead.
Let me say this. Okay, I hear you on that, right? But here's the thing though, right? Because you say go the right route, and again, because I'm middle ground, I understand, what brothers are saying for real. I really do. With all that I just said earlier, I understand the middle ground route, like right. But here's the thing though, bro. Okay, what do we do as far as temptation with other races for the younger generation, right? Because the younger generation of women, I'm just letting you know what's going on in the streets. They are checking for FBA
Listen,
brothers more than ever.
I hear you on that, bruh. Ain't nothing wrong with it. I'm not knocking that, but don't make that no fashion to get you one of them and abandon your people. I came from a black woman. I want to deal with a black woman.
Yeah, I feel
I
that.
don't want to make it no fashion to trash. I don't want to trash. I don't want to trash my mom and my auntie and my sister. Okay.
Respect that.
Yeah.
No,
I
for
think
real.
though, I think more
I
importantly
love
though,
FBA women. I love black women. I love FBA women. My bad.
We should
Go
focus
ahead.
less on like policing other men's dick and who they lay up with, and get back to discussing politics and like cultural institutions and shit like that. Like, I don't really care about who another man is sleeping with. Okay,
Hey, but it is important
It got up.
because we're
no, this is
looking
what
at
I'm saying. This is what I'm
we're
saying. This is
looking
what I'm
at the
saying. I
trajectory,
hear you,
right?
but listen.
Because
Listen. Here's what it is. What it is if you're gonna get with a Latino, a white woman, an Asian woman, talk that black shit and see if she's with it. If she's not with it, move on. But I'm not gonna keep having these circular Dr. Umar Hotep conversations about who dudes is laying up with.
it ain't. I'm not talking about that. People be whoever they want to. I know this. All of the greatness came from the people that look like me. I don't know what you talking about, but that's what I know. I don't know what they create.
My thing is, I don't have time to worry about what another man is doing. Right. My thing is, let's organize and do some political work.
I'm with
If
you on
you
that.
fucking, like, I don't, as far as dudes laying up with white women and all that, now I'm gonna look at you. I'm gonna say you might not be as thorough. I will let your actions over time prove or disprove what you're about. But I've been around these passport bros. Like I said, I've traveled. I was in the military for a long time. I traveled. I've been around these dudes. A lot of these dudes are insecure. A lot of them are secretly tethers, and a lot of them is tricks. I'm saying, so I understand. But my thing is, I'm not into worrying about what another man does. I can only focus on what I can do and try to put some good, positive knowledge and information out there.
Yeah.
Well, the only thing is, not to interrupt you, just to go with the dialogue, what you just said. Not, we're gonna go back to politics as you said, but that was we need to kind of sometimes have these conversations in FBA spaces because again, though, it is even with politics, it's about the generation that's coming up. And again, just to keep it short and brief, like our women, nigga, I'ma say, are the best. It's just no doubt about it. The whole United States got pulled with feminism and all type of movements, bro, that go this way, go that way. Even with politics, bro, this Democrat, liberal, Republican, independent, like again, we need to see all angles. That's all. That's all I'm pretty much saying.
And just to add on, Corey, bro, you summed up basically what I was saying. It seemed like you understood what I was saying, bro. I don't got time to be the penis police, bro. I know people that got 2 FBA parents and some of them are raccoons. And some people got a white parent and they on code more than some other the majority of FBA. So all I said, which I don't know how anyone could misconstrue this, be with who you want. If you want a snow bunny, a snow dragon, a salsa bunny, I don't care what you want. What I'm saying is the code is the leader. Don't come out the bed confused. Corey said a simple litmus test. When you talking that blackety black talk, if they ain't receptive to it, or if they own the Charlie Kirk or whatever other type of talking points, then hey, you know what I mean? They say it's plenty of fish in the sea, so you don't have to settle for that, you know what I mean? And somebody said in the chat too, it's a lot of cats where they'll get with a mixed chick, then they say that their kids are mixed, their kids are not black. Then they start complaining that, oh, the black community don't accept my kids. You don't even accept your kids as black. You're trying to play both sides of the fence. That's all we say. And stop being confused. We've been subscribing to the one drop rule. We'll say Mariah Carey is black. Some people saying Kamala Harris is black. Steph is black. Some people saying Amber Rose is black. So we
need Steph Curry though in the community.
You get my point, but I'm just saying we have been open to racial ambiguity. So what we're just saying is, bruh, if you a zebra all the time. You can't be a zebra in one location and you go to another location and you saying you a stallion. That's how we are. We black in Africa. We black in Venezuela. We black in Brazil. And some people, they come to the cookout and they black. Then they go to the white neighborhood and say they mixed. And then that's what I'm trying to say. And that's where people is just saying, hey, we're drawing a line in the sand because we're on FBA business. We're on B1 business. So we need everybody that's on board to be on board. You know what I mean? Not, this dual allegiance.
Yeah, and the dude was saying if Byron Allen was to give back to the community, how would you feel about that? It's not about Byron Allen giving back to the community. It's about him having children, right? He has children with a white woman. We don't know what the ideology is. And then a generation later, those children will have children with white people. Okay. That's what we're not understanding. There's a genetic, there's warfare. It's warfare on multiple levels, right? Yeah, but what we're saying is for the sake of this conversation, instead of getting off course and dudes talking about they from the hood and getting all emotional and you acting like a bitch, basically, let's just continue to talk politics and discuss history. I'm saying there's a time and a place for everything, but let's stay on topic because you're causing more confusion unnecessarily.
Yeah, I mean, once we started, talking about our sisters and our women, it got a little bad because that's not what we're doing on FBA, on the FBA channel. We trying to push forward the people. So we ain't gonna do that. But I wanted y'all to speak y'all piece. But once it got there, it was like, nah.
Yeah, it wasn't a build no more. But yeah, the conversations do need to be had, but in a constructive manner, though.
Yeah, in a constructive manner. Like, I don't mind if we talking, trying to build and get each other together, but I don't want it to be like we have to chastise our women on this channel. You know what I mean?
No, but anyway.
Yeah. But hey, man, I feel y'all, brother. But let's get on the policy. Now, I brought up the policies and the stuff we know about COINTELPRO, right?
Mm-hmm.
They got mass immigration. I just spoke on 2026. Trump said he's supposed to be, putting the gas on immigration deportation. How do we think, and what policies do we think we got to put in place, and how would that position us in 2026? Because that's what we got to get ready for, the 2026. So I want to hear y'all opinion on that.
Me personally, I think first of all, I love what Trump is doing. It's pretty much waking up everybody else because we been know what's going on. I think also Trump is low key listening to us about the delineation movement because all of a sudden, just a couple years ago everything was black. Now he's calling them by their country: Nigerian, Somalian, Haitian, right? So that's a good thing. I think what's going to end up happening next year or the years to come, I think this FBA movement is going to start being on paper, right? So you're going to have FBA, and then you're going to have Nigerian American, you're going to have Haitian American. It's going to start being like that. I think we need to start pushing more policies to get that on paper. So, we ask for certain tangibles like a black hate crime bill. That tangible will go directly for us, right? See, the problem was back in the day, which is a beautiful thing, right? It's bittersweet because our culture at one point in time, because this generation ain't pretty much going for that, but our culture was it's so beautiful that we're so welcoming. So the civil rights movement, which benefits everybody, the affirmative action which led to DEI, that benefits everybody but us, right? And these are tangibles that's supposed to go for us. So I think with this FBA movement, not being called African American, I think that's going to be the startup to when we ask for things outside of reparations being the biggest. When we start asking for some tangibles that lead up to other things we need, it'll be a lot easier. So that's my input.
Okay. All right. Let's get We Bug, man. How you feel about that?
Now, ask me that question once more. I heard you, but I was listening kind of in
Immigration,
a
right?
subconscious.
Immigration is going crazy in 2026. Per se Trump. And what is some policies? Like, let's say if Trump get most of the illegals or everybody that's getting in the way and he get them out, what policy do we need to put in place now that you feel?
When you say we, are you talking about us as a
Us,
country or me and the community?
Foundationals.
Foundational.
Yeah.
I think that we need to continue to stay separated, right? We need to clean our yard up, and we need to continue to have these conversations and dialogues like we having right now. It's not an easy thing to do, but we need to cut the fat, right? Because in your mind, you ask yourself a question: what is FBA to you? Right? And then you verbalize it, by speaking to some rational men who don't get emotional and try to, bounce it back from each other. And then also, you start becoming more what you call financially literate because we're at a time where things is definitely changing in definitely for the better, but it probably can even be better than that if we start talking together, having these symposiums, if you will, like we used to do years ago, on and just kicking ideas and becoming more, becoming more familiar with stuff like general accounting principles, right? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
uh, Discussing ways to offset the stronghold that these banks have, on us making these payments and these damn car notes and these fucking mortgages and shit, right? It's man, if you knew what I knew, you know what I'm saying? And so these are things to me, right? Is to uh, go off into doing what we've been doing right now. Staying away. You know what? Another thing is talking about it on a platform about these so-called Negroes interfering with ICE. I don't like that shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, it probably may be some tether activity. I don't know, but anybody that is interfering with what them folks is doing is
Right.
to me is outright enemy. And
True.
so those are things right there is me being able to be on code with my folks.
Right. Big fact. Big
And
fact.
I'm gonna stop right there.
Okay. All right, be easy, that dude, man. Go ahead. If you need me to repeat the question again, I'll do it. But I
Yeah,
want to
what
know
was the exact question that you said?
the exact question is what policies do we need to be pushing and pushing forward for us as a lineage with all of these immigration deportations going on in 2026?
Well, usually in every city where there's a bunch of immigrants, they have something called the Office of New Americans,
Mm-hmm.
or you can just use any other thing. They got Copilot, Chat GPT, Grok, or whatever, and just type in what available monetary programs and supplemental, income is available for immigrants. And you'll see how their policy is laid out. You don't got to reinvent the wheel. Take everything that they have been giving them, which is housing, debit cards, and all this stuff, and say, hey, look, y'all have already shown, that y'all have the money for this. Everything that y'all believe that they got or that they need, we should want. Because see, when they bring the immigrants over, what agenda do the immigrants have, right? They don't have an agenda, allegedly. They're just seeking the American dream. But these NGOs and these parties have an agenda for them. See, they'll say, oh, look, we would have helped the black community, but y'all didn't have a black agenda. Then you present a black agenda and they say, yeah, no, we ain't doing that. So it's not about the agenda. It's just the willingness to do it. But mind you, these are allegedly illegal immigrants fleeing asylum, gang violence and stuff. They're poor and all this stuff, allegedly, right? So they don't have any agenda. But all of these people have given a legislative agenda on what they need. Go look that up, and I can guarantee you that you need the same thing. You need secure housing, right? You need child support. You need supplemental income. Everything that they say the immigrants need, you need it too. So that way you don't even have to try to figure out how to write a policy plan. But of course, reparations, we're always going to push forward that. But the specificity of the anti-Black hate crime bill, what they did was they passed that COVID-19 hate crime bill, and they try to make it seem like it's an all-inclusive hate crime bill, but they specifically denounced Asian hate. They mentioned Asian people 14 times. They mentioned Black people 0 times, even though that year that they passed it, we were the top victims of hate crime. So what we're pushing for is specificity, because they already got a bunch of vague, nebulous hate crimes out there. We need the same ethnic and racial specificity like they did with the Asians, where they mentioned them over 14 times and specifically denounced anti-Asian hate. Not only that, they were allocated hundreds of millions of dollars to various Asian organization institutions, that was to stop Asian hate. So that's just the basic framework. That's not even getting into the weeds of everything. But the other part of it is just the political organization, right? Because these people don't want to do this, right? They didn't want to free the slaves. They didn't want to stop discriminating. None of this stuff they wanted to do is about us forcing them to do it. So if you can get together to watch them football team, and what do people say about that football team? The Cowboys is my team and things like that, right? That's not your team. You don't even have stocks in the team. Nothing about the Cowboys is your team. But FBA, if you're a part of that lineage, that is your team. So look, meet together to watch the Cowboys football game, but y'all need to be talking about political stuff as well. You don't have to even agree on things, but you need to be having substantive conversations. Use the AI to your benefit. The stuff that you say you don't have time to do, AI can do it before you get your chicken out the oven. So you really don't have any type of excuses. And I ask people, do you think you smarter than AI? They gonna say hell to the no. So why you ain't utilizing it? It will tell you how to effectively mobilize. It will write a policy proposal for you, and you can add or omit whatever. So now it's just the time to put boots on the ground.
Yeah.
Also, then I'll land with this. Like I said, like Dr. Claude Anderson said, your racial group is like your football team, right? So if we are on the Lakers or whatever, right? Yeah, we can have virtual meetings, but we're not going to be talking about our open playbook. Yeah, we're going to run this against the Spurs, and this is the play that's going to be the Celtics. Right? You need to be organizing and be talking in person. Stop meeting in person. And like Dr. Nilly Fuller said, you only meet up once you got something to talk about and something to do. You know what I mean? So when y'all meeting up on Christmas and stuff, make sure that y'all passing out something political or having a conversation that's beyond, just spending money.
Big facts. Big facts, man. Yeah, you said it all right there, because we see what they're doing with the immigrants and all of the money and funds that they get. We just we want that same energy. We want those same policies. So I appreciate that. Be easy. Corey Green, man. You need me to repeat that again?
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah. So I said in 2026, it was an article I went over. Trump is saying he's going to expand his immigration policy of deporting a lot of people. So my question would be for FBA was what policies that we would be putting together so we can, take off in 2026.
Yeah, I mean, again, I use ChatGPT every day. I consult ChatGPT on a daily basis for everything. I mean, you can use the thing for anything that you can imagine.
Wow.
I'm saying from learning how to plant, learning how to hunt, learning how to, get a gun license, anything any task that you would want to, do, you can reference ChatGPT. I mean, it has some hallucinogenic issues and sometimes you have to engineer the way that you put the prompts in. But if you can figure that out and know, okay, I need to correct it at this point, it's very useful. It's extremely, extremely useful. ChatGPT is good for generating text programs, things of that nature. Like the brother was saying, you can create a PDF, you can create a flyer, you can organize. ChatGPT has literally showed me how to organize, like work, outside of work, for political and civic organizations and engagement. You can do that with ChatGPT. It will literally give you an itemized list, step by step, your workout game, what food you should be eating, all that kind of stuff. ChatGPT. When it comes to technical things, you can use Gemini. These different, Claude is also good up there in that generating text as well. So people, just go out, learn the technology, right? Like, I don't know what people are spending their time doing. I've been making money and doing this thing in the IT world since I was like 24, 25.
Right.
It's not hard out here. I think a lot of times we get caught up in emotionality, like your man's who's advocating for snow bunnies earlier. And another thing, right? Like this whole thing because there's a lot of stuff that I noticed that we do and say that's just real out of pocket. Like the whole YN thing, to me, that's just out of pocket because the YN is reflective of the prior generation, right? So there's that. There's the whole, well, I'm from the hood, and I understand, the hood and all that type of stuff, but there's class distinctions for a reason, right? And within our community, there are lower class people, there are middle class people, and then there are upper class people. I'm saying there's all different kinds of people that exist in our community. So to try to undermine somebody's position or what they're saying because they may or may not be from the hood, that's not really a mature talking point. So I think we got to kind of be a little bit more as men, right? We got to start introducing, just proper thinking, proper action. I'm saying the brother talked about Neely Fuller Jr. Read Neely Fuller Jr. Normalize having conversations about Stokely Carmichael and Soul on Ice and these, Bobby Seale and who else? Dr. Amos Wilson. Dr. Amos Wilson is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
So yeah, just let's start being more intellectual, right? Let's start actually thinking. Like, let's stop being caught up in anger and emotionality, particularly as men, and trying to run and meet different women, all that type of stuff. Let's kind of tighten it up and behave as men. I think masculinity is one of the most important things, and let's move back into that. So yeah,
big facts, man. Now, also, just to piggyback on what y'all was saying, not Trump, but Elon Musk just put out to where it shows where like you're from when you're doing these, when you posting on X, and it was confirmed that it was a lot of people that's putting, I guess, black love and talking bad about black and women and black men were from other countries. So it was kind of like marketed. So this is kind of like a marketing that somebody is pushing to kind of divide us. So I want to get that point out there because that's important for us to know that it ain't our people sitting here like saying all of this on the internet. There's other forces from outside the country that's pushing a lot of media about us online.
And it's for monetization. So like you said, it's marketing, but anti-blackness is global. It's as American as apple pie. So especially on Twitter, X, you're getting paid off of engagement. What's going to get you a bunch of engagement? Say something about black people. They keep recycling fight videos from 20 years old. But the more people share it, repost it, comment on it, they're getting paid for those clicks. So it's just a commodity. And like you said, when you click on the country of origin, majority of them are not here. And before this delineation thing, we was under the delusion of flat blackness. We all one big global Negro. But when you start looking at people's background, like I said, that coach who was Snow Bunny worshiping at Michigan, Trinidadian, I heard Safari just saying some greasy stuff. I look him up, Jamaican. Nicki Minaj is over here groveling and bending down to Trump, Caribbean, Trinidadian. And you just keep going down the list, But before, we weren't looking at it through that lens. And yes, of course, we got the homegrown Sambos, but if we gonna call out the Sambos, why wouldn't we call out the Tethers?
Yeah, big fact.
Yeah, and like Tariq did a broadcast and they were talking about like every weird thing in our community, it's not coming from us. And I was at first, I was like, there's no way, right? Some of us is cooning. But then again, it's the culture of these people, the bed wenching, the divesting, the putting the white man on the pedestal, putting this person on the pedestal, just the self-hate, because they come from these places where the men are not men. The men don't behave as men. The men don't go to war. They don't advocate. They don't put on. They don't do the things that they're supposed to do. So they see the white man as their conqueror, as the standard for masculinity. But then they come here and they see how we get down as FBA men. For the most part, you still got weirdos amongst our group too. You do have a lot of weirdos amongst our group, but they see that and it's a problem for them because they see that it builds up resentment and jealousy. Because they see, well, damn, why didn't we do this back home? We got to come here and see how they operate over, So it's the game is crazy, but education.
Can I add on to that too? And that's what I was saying earlier. Like that's the beautiful thing, FBA men and women, we are like global trendsetters. Listen, we're very humble. I'm talking about every single, pretty much when you go outside, again, when you see people having lineups, you don't know how many Africans I see, even in Africa, with shape-ups. I just seen these Spanish people today. It was a beautiful family. Had a son with him, and they was coming out of the barbershop. Dude had a fresh temper fade shape-up, like the 3-line fade, like shape-up. And he even had the part in his head. And I'm like, wow, like just me being conscious of that, just knowing that is like, so I say that to say, and I understand warfare too. I understand, like, don't think people are not listening and know what's going on. They see reparations coming, it's war tactics. Oh, let me get with that brother, genetic survival. We can, that's for another conversation. A lot of people are enlightened of what's going on with our culture and seeing what we've done, so I on the flip side, I agree with keeping our lineage together. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not just talking black. Notice I'm saying lineage because, again, even with the passport, bro, most black brothers are going to Brazil, Panama, Jamaica. You see what I'm saying? It's the stuff of that nature. They're not really going to Asia and, not even really Africa or like that. But, that's another conversation. I don't want to get into the passport route because we already talked about that. But the point I'm saying is that, I think what we need to do, because this is a good discussion too. And I like what the other brother was saying, like, we don't really need to be, it's almost like, when you the man and, and you can have whatever you want. You don't have to, pretty much like be on display or have to, pick and choose. You let them choose you. And I think we need to be choosing ourselves first. You see what I'm saying? Because we've been through a lot in this country. And we got to understand, how to overcome it. And I think once we learn how to overcome things and like y'all saying, having dialogues, being politically aware, teaching our youth and building, the brother, what's his name?
Be easy, that dude.
No, I can't even believe
Corey Green.
No, man. Dang, I got a brain fart, man.
That's good. That's good.
OG, man. Darn it. But I'll get to him in a second. But he's talking about black economics. So once you start talking black economics and wealth and generational wealth, we'll start loving each other again. We'll start becoming more in the community base and everything of that nature. So I think it's about to be a 360.
Yeah, I agree. Gonna be a 160, but yeah, man. But we gonna keep pushing these policies. So that's what I tried to have this live in this panel was for Trump, the immigration crackdown, and what we gonna do. So we gotta. I think I like what the brothers from Cali, man. Cali really killed this this show tonight. But I think organizing it in your region where you could talk to people face to face and we all can, kind of come and meet together in the middle. But I definitely agree that we need to be taking care of everything by region, because we could just talk to each other. We ain't gotta, be sending these codes over the internet.
Yeah, but by region, but then also by nation, because this is our homeland. Like we were talking about Huey P. Newton, and somebody brought up in the chat, he was originally from Louisiana. Like most people in California, FBAs, they family got roots in the South. My family come from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, but you feel me? I'm Cali, born and bred. But Fred Hampton was all the way in Chicago under the banner of the Black Panthers, still getting it popping. So we gotta, maximize and utilize our resources locally and regionally. But ultimately, the earth is my turf. So we got to really be operating nationally. And it's like, bruh, if y'all want to come out to Cali, if some brothers from the South come out to Cali, and you going to have a compound to come through. I'm going to show y'all everything. I'm going to make sure y'all good, but extend the same courtesy when I pull up on the East Coast or whatever like that. That's how we really got to be operating, you know what I mean? Soaking up game in a real way, because all of these people that we bring it up, whether it be Bobby Seale, Huey P. Newton, Fred Hampton, they did all of this without a smartphone. They did all of this without social media, right? We're doing. You got more money than Fred Hampton, so how you can't fly to Chicago? But Fred Hampton was able to get to Oakland and go back and forth and galvanize by sending things through snail mail. licking a stamp and they was galvanizing like that. They were sending hundreds and thousands of letters. We can do that instantly. And like Corey was saying too, use chat. You don't got to use chat GPT. They got DeepSeek, they got Grok, Microsoft Copilot, Claude AI. I can give you a litany of ones and they all will do the same
Put that
thing.
in the chat. Put that in the private chat for me so we could because I mean I heard of a few,
I got
but
you.
someone there you ain't saying. I'm like, damn, I need to know about that. But yeah, I ain't want to cut your wisdom, but you know what I mean.
You talking a good game right there, bro. I'm about to write that down.
Yeah,
we need to write that. Yeah, we
I'll
need to
definitely
be having these discussions too, because we got to be able to know, like, you know, what technologies, like Corey was saying. You know, he's in the IT field. We got to start giving each other some secrets to this game and passing on messages that's gonna better us both.
Right, we're teaching each other how to fish in a practical sense and in a digital sense, right? What's the reason of teaching somebody to fish? So they not coming to your house every day knocking, hey, water, bro, you got some fish for me? Nah, bro, I already taught you how to fish so you can sustain yourself and you can teach somebody how to fish. I'm sure y'all heard this before. Each one teach one. I say that's outdated and archaic in 2025. My saying is each can teach 10. If each one of us men is responsible for teaching 10 men, and we pull up to any function, how powerful does that look up? We pull up to any you bring your 10, I bring my 10. That's already
popcorn, homie.
We all teaching 10, each individual leaders.
Exactly. And that's just the start. So each can teach 10. And I say this, if you don't got enough game or acumen to teach 10 people, then you don't even need to get on the panels. You need to be hitting the books. You need to hit the library. If you do have enough game and acumen to be teaching 10, then why haven't you done it? There's no gun stopping you. So you bring your 10, Water bring his 10, Corey bring his 10. That's already 33 people right now. You go anywhere with 33 people, you look like a force. If you got 10 people, 10 men, and each of us are responsible, we pulling up 100 deep. You pull up 100 deep anywhere, nobody could deny you, especially if we 100 deep on code, 100 deep in suits, 100 deep with the same political demand, 100 deep and we all trying to help each other. Hey, this person don't know how to do mechanics, I'll teach them. This person don't know how to grow some food, I'll teach them. It's called skill sharing. You got to be able, you know what I mean? Because cats will chop game about a bunch of goofy stuff. They'll debate, is LeBron better than Jordan? They'll have a 3-hour debate about that. Let's have a 3-hour discussion on how to have this sustainable garden. Let's have a 4-hour discussion on stocks. Whatever I don't know, I soak up from you. Whatever I do know, I bestow to you. That's how we build. And this is simple. This is the basic stuff.
Simple. Right. That's what I'm saying. Hearing you saying it and now understanding how the Black Panther Party did this shit without any technology, without no GPS or none of that. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy that, you know, we definitely need to be we got some work to do. We definitely got some work to do.
Hey, but I'm excited, bro, because if I'm gonna be working with bros like y'all, I mean, like we got something to be optimistic about.
Yeah. I'm very optimistic. Hearing you and hearing Corey, I need is cooking like this is what's gonna get the people going, man. And I appreciate, bro, y'all. This is why I love having these talks with my people, because y'all get me motivated, man. Y'all get me ready to run through a brick wall, for real.
No, he's saying real talk, bro. I mean, you know, it's you know, I think, man, this generation, man, I see us being more unified than ever before in my lifetime. You know, or at least it's the Million Man March. You know, I see a lot of us on code, and I think this FBA lineage it ain't going nowhere. I think a lot of us are shying away from that African American term. I think a lot of us are pretty much, loving ourselves. You know, we always love ourselves, but I think we're starting to appreciate ourselves and pat ourselves on the back, and know, that we, are doing a lot of good deeds, even, with certain laws, like even with Trump, shout out Trump for shouting out, the 14th Amendment, people can, I hear other opinions on that, but the thing is, just the acknowledgement, and it got other people here, and fighting for it, says a lot. So, I think we can do a lot more with those policies since we're talking about policies early. I think we can, start trying to push more policies and just keep it lineage based. And, we keep that tight sealed box, man. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. It's going to open up, and only time it's going to open up is when we want to open up.
Hey y'all, can I say one other thing?
Go ahead, brother.
I ain't gonna hold y'all. It's good dialogue. I want to it's an art to mastering how to jump into the train of discussion without getting ran over. So my thing is to reiterate that we have just been attacked. America has just been attacked. We were still perishing and dying. These people have released some shit on us and then opened the gate to have these other people, and they thought that it was gonna fuck us all up. But you have to keep this in mind. Why delineation makes great sense is
Great.
because we are just at the doorstep of some of us who survived, who either got some strong DNA or just it ain't their time, or who just didn't even go for the okey doke and would just rather just eat feathers than fucking let them get poked like that. You know what I'm saying? So because of that, you have to look at the world from, you don't have to, but I have to look at the world from a different lens now, and really know that the only friend that I have look like me, and most of the time I have to pick from that. And I'm not being paranoid. It is a beautiful, listen, for every bad thing there is a beautiful thing, and that's why it's important to have balance and to be able to keep myself on point with that, right? Because I could go down a rabbit hole about everything that's fucked up. A lot of times this Negro will go on a nosedive, and then that's all they will talk about. That it will be about self-sabotage, where we ain't doing this, we ain't doing. Well, you talk about everything that's bad, but what is good? And
Yeah.
that's the
I know
problem.
niggas like
What
that.
is good? And so that's what I'm gonna end with. It's definitely been a pleasure hearing you guys. As you guys give me hope.
Right. That big facts, man. Big facts. All right, man. We're gonna let if y'all want to close them out, man. We just want to close them out, and we're gonna be live on here tomorrow. We're gonna have some good discussions that we can pull up. But I'm gonna let Corey G and anybody else, man, if y'all want to close them out, we're gonna definitely use some of this information. This was a great conversation. I learned some things, and I'm gonna put some things into play, and I hope everybody else on the panel gonna do the same thing. But Corey, go ahead and give us your closing thoughts, brother.
Yeah, I think this was a great panel. I think Water God, I think you're getting better at getting these agents of confusion about the paint early, man. Like, we've had several, like I notice every time I come on the panel, I'm watching the channel, it's a new person that's coming in adding confusion to the mix. So you're getting better at that. The mods are getting better at that. And I just want to say, man, thank you for giving me the opportunity to come on here and speak, because your platform, for whatever reason, is like blowing up a lot. I see you close to what? You might already be at 10K.
Almost, man. Yeah.
But yeah, you're hitting the algorithm properly, like how you're doing your titles and all that type of your description. So you're doing the thing right. I respect it. I'm gonna have the channel open. I know I keep saying that, but I'm gonna have the channel coming soon, and I hope to collaborate.
I can't wait, because I want you to. You know what I'm saying? We need more. It's different areas that I'm seeing. I'm learning from what Homeboy told me, that it's different areas that I see that I want our people in. We need to have our voices out here in the media, because we don't have control over the media really. So I really appreciate seeing channels, bro, and people just standing on our business. I want to see more, but I'm trying my best on here, man. I want to make sure the narrative, my goal is to make sure people understanding our indigenous narrative needs to be out on some of these publications and when they're going over news articles. So that's the goal, man.
For sure. Much respect, man. Salute. Be Easy was cooking. Everybody was cooking for sure. Salute Cali. I'm saying it's going down. I was wondering, just not to change the topic, but Nicki Minaj was on Turning Point USA. She was on. So I don't know if you're gonna talk about that or. Yeah,
I gotta
yeah,
get
yeah.
on that.
Yeah, I think Beezy might have brought that up. Somebody else brought it up, but
Yeah, I brought it up.
Yeah, so and Beezy, shout out to you, man. You was going in, bro. You was cooking, and I like that you didn't get emotional when dude was disrespecting you like that. So I appreciate that. And just for everybody who's listening, like I said, I've been working in IT for a long time. I'm an Air Force veteran. So if anybody needs information about IT, how to break into the field, recommend training, resume review, all that kind of stuff, I can help people out. I sent my email out, and then Rob, I'm gonna hit you up, and Beezy, I'm gonna hit you up.
I gave
much
both
respect,
of you. Yep, you and
definitely hit me up because and let me say my piece. Salute to Corey, bro. You was cooking as well, and I definitely want to reach out to you because this is what I did, bro. And I did this by myself, use my own money. I'm not an expert in STEM, but what I did do, because I'm out here in the Bay, you know, we right by Silicon Valley, San Jose, Fremont, etc. I paid one of my buddies who graduated from IT, and I did my own STEM seminar. Now, it wasn't a lot of people, but it was like 15 people, you know what I mean? But I say, look, if I bring 15 people to your house that want to eat dinner, you would say that was a lot, you know what I mean? And 15 is a lot more than 0. So I paid out of my own money to have someone teach young Black men about the introductions in STEM, you know what I mean? So, and I paid another one of my friends who's an accountant and a financial advisor to teach them about financial literacy. No backing, no politician. Nobody sent me a cash app for it. And I wasn't waiting for it. I just said, you know, there's a need. Let me do something. You know, for some people, it could be a drop in the bucket. But you put no drops in the bucket. So, you know what I mean? You can't really, you know, speak on that. So this has been a great build. And one thing I think Corey was touching on too. Yes, bro was being disrespected, but I'm a real hood nigga. I'm from the streets and shit. So I've already seen certain, you know, what I call bluster and bloviating and all this stuff. Most of the time, bruh, what do they say? Blank moving silent. You feel me? Illa's moving silence. You know what I mean? Like, bruh, a wolf doesn't turn around when they hear a chihuahua barking, bruh. So we got to be better with this emotional intelligence as well. If you want to defeat me intellectually, right? You want to fight, bro, fight intellectually, but have some decorum with it, because cats, it doesn't matter if you from the hood or if you from the burbs. As a man, you look very effeminate and emotionally unhinged if you can't control your emotions. And I'm not speaking about anyone in particular because I don't do the subs. I holler at people directly. I'm just speaking in general. This permeates and this transcends specifically the FBA community. They got people trying to say that masculinity is fluid. What the hell does that mean? So they're trying to say that it's okay if you paint your nails and it's okay if you wear a dress. That's why its masculinity is fluid. But when we are teaching our young men, not YNs, because I call them YM, young men. I call them YBs, young brothers. So when we teaching our YBs, we got to be standing on something. We got to be standing on a solid foundation to even come and wag our fingers or preach to somebody. You can't preach to somebody when you ain't even doing the work. You can't lead somebody when you haven't even led yourself. You know what I mean? Imagine somebody that got a big pot belly trying to lead people in a fitness class and telling them what they need to do. It just ain't gonna hit the same. Lead by example. And if you're not that example, just sit back. Even leaders get led. So I'm just saying, I'll land with that. Thank you for allowing me to speak. And this has been a phenomenal stream. I appreciate y'all, brothers.
Man, I appreciate y'all too, man. And I gave y'all my email in there, brother. So I'm be looking forward to y'all emailing me. Yes, sir, bro. You want to do close them out?
Hey man, look, bro. I think they already closed it out for me, bro. Like that. Hey, look, man. I've been a student of the game, man. But salute, thank you for having me on your channel, man.
For real.
It was beautiful. I just think, again, man. I think it's already happening, so I really don't gotta say much. I think in FBA, this lineage, we keeping everything gate. We gatekeeping our culture. So when it comes to even politics, man, I think we're gonna get some tangibles passed on in 2026 and beyond. And like the brothers were saying earlier, we do need to start, networking,
Yes.
supporting each other businesses, learning,
Matter of fact, everybody put your email in the private chat so we can at least start with a dialogue and put where you from too, so we'll know where to associate everybody. I want to get a list of emails that we can have from our people that's FBA. If y'all want to just stay connected so we can be pushing things and getting things happen. I put my email in the chat, but just make sure you put your name so it's not all, but I'm gonna go in there and get, don't the lives kind of cut out there where you can't see the private chat once you get them in there, right?
I don't think so. No, you can see the chat.
You can still see them after the live's gone?
Yeah, I think you can still see it.
Yeah, you'll still be able to see it until you close it. Until you actually close your StreamYard session, you'll still be able to see it.
Oh, okay. I got you. Once I close the StreamYard session, it's gone. It's no more. So,
correct. So you can just screenshot it or just, do that right click and copy and paste.
I got something better, man. I got a Discord group. I know a lot of y'all probably ain't in, but we could possibly do it there to make it a lot easier. So, we have it, what y'all think? Does that make more sense?
Well, I'll email you and then maybe you can just send the Discord link there.
Okay. But I'm thinking kind of for everybody else too, so we can all, I want y'all to get their emails. If everybody had so go ahead. So if y'all want to put your email in there, you can. If I'm gonna put the Discord in there,
and are y'all on any other platforms like IG, Twitter, TikTok, any of that stuff?
I'm on IG, but I don't really post on nothing.
Got you.
YouTube, so let me see. But I don't want us to leave this chat without getting our information and everything. We had a good chat and we had some good ideas. So I'm gonna put that in the link real quick, y'all. And then if y'all want to change emails, I know they was talking about having classes and stuff that these brothers doing. Here it is right here. I'm gonna put it in there. Just to keep our conversation up. But here go right here, guys. But that's the private chat. Let me put it in. All right. That'll be cool. I'm up in the Discord. Yeah, I'm gonna put it. Most of my people is up in the Discord that I know, and I want to get that back pumping. So that's the Discord, but we can have everybody be easy, and Corey already in there. But if you want to jump in there, so we can definitely do some things and straighten some things out, I hit you guys on the email. Okay,
yeah, I'll hop in.
You hopped into that. So that's the Discord, man. Hop into that. And if we can't, we can put our emails on the Discord. But man, I appreciate everybody for tapping in today and definitely pushing for FBA, man, and definitely because we got a lot of work to do. But I appreciate everybody just being optimistic and positive and coming joining this chat and just giving good energy. So salute to Be Easy, Corey, all the mods in the chat. Shout out to Nikki P, man, for coming in. But we're gonna be in the Discord. Y'all jump in the Discord. We don't want to give our whole game plan away, like Be Easy said. We on the team. We don't give out our plays online. We kind of want to do things in a different manner. So we're gonna get that cooking. All right. So listen, love and appreciate y'all, man. Make sure we support us, support Black businesses in your area because we need it. So make sure you go out your way to, man, spend money with us. And I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'll be going live tomorrow, but peace and love, and I'll catch up with y'all on the next one. Salute.
Peace out.
Love, man. That's love. Solani Tania, salute. Mama Lisa already went to sleep, man. Y'all have a good night, though. We'll speak soon.